Nicht so ein frohes Weihnachtsfest für all die sich schlecht benehmenden Kinder. Bald in meinem Korb, dann in den Sarg.
It's Christmas time, and all seems fine. You spent the year without fear, misbehaved and mistreated others. He comes for you, brothers and sisters.
Jingle bell time is a swell time for Krampus to spend the night. You'll be hiding, filled with fright. Your Krampus is punishing delight. Lashing his chains and jingling the bell, he's come to take you to hell. Too late to repent, your tears are spent. Krampus comes calling for mercy. You'll be longing, beaten with branches and sticks, 'cause you chose to play trick. Joke's on you, you selfish fool. Now, what's left is a dreadful mess. Jingle bell time is a swell time for Krampus to spend the night. You'll be hiding, filled with fright. Your Krampus is punishing delight. Into the basket you'll go, taken in the snow. Tears you'll cry and pain you'll sow. No one can save you, not that anyone should. I wouldn't even if I could. Should have been better, should I behave? Now you're the one, no one can save.
Gute Nacht an alle, die gedient haben. Seien sie im kommenden Jahr gut gelaunt, oder ich werde dich nicht sehen.
Nicht so ein frohes Weihnachten.
In a cold room, a spirit looms, a message, a warning. Both ways it goes, so the spirit knows. Bar humbug he claimed, but after tonight, he won't be the same. Faces in strange places, dust off that feeling, the warm fire crackling, padlocks and cash boxes rattling, chains how unsettling. What the spirit brings, the spirits of the past, the present and the future visit this night with vision.
visions painful and steady, and their lessons are ready. In darkness they come, with visions you can't outrun, from all you have done. In fear he waits, it's getting late, the clock strikes one, the first spirit comes, an innocent face lit up the place, a painful past relived, all the memories it could give, devastation, loss and regret, for he sees the boy that wouldn't recognize him if they met. In darkness they come, with visions you can't outrun, from all you have done. The clock strikes two, a spirit in the room, in poverty joy will not fade. In riches his name, kind words to save, a humble feast, a grateful child's eyes, a mirror held before his mind. But as he watches, warmth turns into darkness. It's brief and slipping away as he watches the spirit age. In darkness they come, with visions you can't outrun, from all you have done. The clock strikes three, a new spirit he sees, a hooded figure pointing to death's only one worth mourning. In a dark room, a body lies where nobody cares, not even a sigh. In a warm home, the boy's family cries. Thieves haggle and laugh, showing no shame. He knew he had only himself to blame. The silent spirit showed him the grave, upon the headstone his own name. This is the future, not the past, as he begged for another chance. His pain turns to panic, he pleads, I can change this, don't let it be. I'll celebrate Christmas, just wait and see. The man's heart beat differently, the spirit's grip loosening as the figure faded silently. In darkness they come, with visions you can't outrun, from all you have done. As morning fell, he could hear the Christmas bells. He laughed and he cried, for he was still alive. But humbug, he said, never again. He heeded the winds, a new path he walks this Christmas morning. In darkness they come, with visions you can't outrun, from all you have done. Ebenezer, a cold, selfish figure, clutching his wealth, stoic and cruel, both ways it goes.
so the spirits know. But humbug he claimed, but after tonight he won't be the same. A kind man with a Christmas plan Ebenezer could not stand. It would do no good to plead, for you can't reach a man led by greed. By humbug he claimed, but after tonight he won't be the same. Faces in strange places, dust off that feeling, the warm fire brimming. Padlocks and cash boxes, rattling chains, unsettling what the spirit brings. A warning. The spirits of the past, the present and the future visit this night. With visions, painful and steady, and their lessons are ready. Anxious, he waits, it's getting late. The clock strikes one, the first spirit comes, an innocent face lit up the place, a painful past relived, all the memories it could give. Devastation, loss and regretful. He sees the boy he wouldn't recognize if he met. One down, two more to go, as he begs, don't show me no more. The spirits of the past, the present and the future visit this night. With visions, painful and steady, and their lessons are ready. The clock strikes 2, what is he to do? He walks to the room, it's brief and slipping away as he watches the spirit age. In poverty, joy will not fade, enriches his name, kind words to say. A humble feast, a grateful child's eyes, a mirror held before his mind. But as he watches, warmth turns into darkness. 2 down and 1 to go, he begs, please don't show me no more. The spirits of the past, the present and the future visit this night. With visions, painful and steady, and their lessons are ready. The clock strikes 3, nowhere to flee. Silent and hooded, a dark figure shrouded. No speaking, only gestures and pointing. 2 deaths, only one worth mourning. In a dark room, a body lies where nobody cries. In a warm home, the boy's family torn. Thieves haggle and laugh, showing no shame. He knew he had only himself to blame. The silent spirit showed him the grave, upon the headstone his own name. The spirits of the past, the present and the future visit this night. With visions, painful and steady, and their lessons are ready. This is the future, not the past. As he begs for another chance, as pain turns to panic, he pleads, I can change this, don't let it be. I'll celebrate Christmas, just wait and see. The man's heart beat differently, the spirit's grip loosening, as the figure faded silently. As morning fell, he could hear the Christmas bells.
All right, folks. Welcome to Paranormal Roundtable. I'm your host, Josh Turner. This is PRT. Join us in the real reality. So, how's everybody's? It's Christmas. Golly, it's freaking Christmas. Can you believe it? Oh, man. I hope everybody got what they wanted. And if you didn't, it's probably your own fault. Krampus showed up and beat you up. I mean, do you want to lock the door, turn the lights off? Like, we're in here just. All right. Thank you for the donation, Stargazer. The food drive went well.
Yeah.
We still have about
Awesome.
a dozen people left to give to, and we are almost out of food. That is 300 steaks. We're almost out. So we're going to try and figure this out. We got 12 literally about 12 more people to give to. And then that should be it. Thank you to everybody who donated to help with the food drive. We bought $4,900 worth of steak and summer sausage.
Made a lot of people happy.
Yep.
We did because beef is so expensive.
Yeah.
A calf now for a decent calf. Take a guess, folks. We probably won't even. If you're not a cattle person, you're not going to understand. You won't know. I don't expect you to. Take a wild guess what a calf is going for. And you don't got to go into yearling and newborn. All this, just a what do you call it? Like an estimate. What do you think a calf would go for right now? Too much.
Exactly.
It is way too much, folks. Way too much. Here's my shirt. Check it out. Werewolves. Great jeans.
$750.
Look at this werewolf. He's got great jeans, man.
That is highly offensive to me.
Is it highly offensive to you? Let's see. Who's that talking? Let's see who's that. Is that
Yeah.
Krampus? Yes,
Some
that is. Right in the
pipsqueak.
middle. There's a Luchusa. And then there's Banjo. What's up, Banjo?
And then we got Banjo festive as ever.
What is he
He's
doing?
in the
Say hi,
Christmas
Bubba.
spirit for sure.
Say hi.
You look. It's like those. I keep popping up on my feet.
Yeah.
You look over this Banjo.
Just dancing in the back.
Dancing around.
Poor thing.
He's
like-
just got the biggest smile on his face. I love it.
Just like, this is my life.
Dude, that dog loves like attention. Like from
Oh,
us.
Bubba.
He's shy around other people. You come up there to Tony's truck, Banjo will look up on you.
Oh yeah. He's not afraid to square up.
All right, take him off the table. Banjo, all
Thank you for the
Christmas
outfit,
and
Bubba.
festive.
Look at our
We
outfit.
were gonna bring Elvira, but we didn't have a Santa outfit for her.
Yeah, only Banjo got one.
He deserves it.
Oh,
He's fine being the star of the show.
I remember when he was little. Oh, he's still little, but when he was baby, he was terrified of thunder and lightning. He had to crawl. He had to get up in the bed and crawl on the covers with me every time, dude. So I took him outside and to the patio and put his little paw into the water that was coming down,
Mhm.
coming down over the overhang, and he got used to it. But Tony, if you mess with Tony, if you go at Tony, you act like you're gonna hit him or do something to him, Banjo will go crazy. But for me, I could choke Tony. I could throw him against a wall,
He'll just whine.
and Banjo would just be like, "Come on, man." And then Tony's over there like, "Why are you not helping?" Banjo's like, "Hey man, you got that, and you got it on your own. I don't know what you be doing.
Sorry, bro. It's the alpha.
Y'all getting into something I don't even want to be. This not. I didn't have nothing to do with this."
Probably deserve it.
He just looks away. He just looks away. He's like, "That's the man right there. That dude. No, fixing to just ignore you." Now, me and Banjo, we're like this. We're tight. I'm tight with all the animals. All the animals love me. They don't love everybody. I'm not gonna mention no names. I'm not gonna be, there's certain people, certain animals like certain people, and certain animals that all the animals love me 100%. I'm not even bragging. I hate to brag, but my animals love me. But Elvira is really starting to make me mad with her love and affection for Maddie. I am not a jealous person.
Except when it comes to this.
I open the door and she runs over to where Maddie's at and gets on the couch. I'm like, "What are you doing? What are you doing? This is what." And she'll be over there looking at me. I'm like, "What?" I rescued her. She was caught in the sheets today. She was like,
Oh, yeah.
she was trying to get up. Nellie was asleep. I was trying to get her off, and she could not. And I went to the restroom. I come out, and she's still doing it. I said, "Oh, you're stuck."
Byron's just fighting for
I
her
just
life.
sat there like this, going like, "Well, where
Is mad.
is Maddie?" Elvira hears her name. She looks around like, I don't know. Me neither. I don't know, Elvira. I don't know where Maddie is. She's not here.
Elvira, if you're watching this, just know if you would have barked, I would have come running.
But the door would be locked. And I said, you know what, Elvira? You look like you're in a real pickle. Well. And now you need me. That's okay. I'm right here. And I lifted her up out of the sheets. And guess what? She was grateful. And then when Maddie came in the room, she didn't run to Maddie. She knew who the hero was. She knows what's up. Now she knows which side of the bread is, her bread is buttered on.
Yeah.
Until some fried rice or a piece of a burrito falls from Maddie's plate, then it's all bets are off.
Yeah. Then she goes
Kinda
on
loyalty is
mercenary again.
Exactly.
Yeah. She's loyal to the grind.
That's crazy. Oh well, such is life with these animals. That's how they are. Everybody, get your name in green. We are doing okay. Tell us what we're doing.
We're gonna do a members only live.
When is that?
So tomorrow we can probably release the pre-record.
Okay.
Saturday.
Yeah, Saturday. Do you want to do it Saturday?
Is that what we're agreed
Well, I
on?
thought we decided.
That was my understanding that the Saturday was going to
Yeah.
be the members.
See, they make rules,
And
I
then
just gotta
Sunday
follow
we'll do
them.
the regular
See how
live
this
stream.
works? Y'all just telling me how things gonna be on now. Huh?
I mean, you kind of did ask, so yeah.
Is that what's happening?
Yeah.
Is that
Yeah,
what's
I'm
happening?
taking over
Yeah.
now, people.
But only because you have commanded it, obviously.
You know why
You
this?
have demanded that.
I
that we
command
give
this.
You
know why
yeah.
I command everything? Because y'all are trauma. What is it? What is it?
Trauma bonded.
Trauma bonded.
Trauma bonded. What?
Y'all are trauma bonded.
Trauma Olympics.
Here's a gold medal for your issues. We're on the same team. Why aren't we competing? Have y'all seen that video?
Mhm.
Oh my gosh, it's funny. There's an Asian girl. She's the faces she makes is so funny. Y'all gotta go check it out. What is it called? The Trauma Olympics.
Trauma Olympics.
Yeah.
Go look up the Trauma Olympics. I'm telling you, it's gone viral. I think, right?
Yeah.
It had to. It's so funny. And anyway, she starts off the song like, "Here's a gold medal for your issues," and then she said, "Mental gymnastics like an athlete."
I mean, that's society in a nutshell.
Yeah.
Okay? So it's perfect.
Everybody's a victim. Everybody's got to out victim the other person. Let me tell you something. This is a funny story. Now, this is how I'm going to start off here. There are people who gave me, well, I'm not going to say any names. Y'all already know there's somebody that really made somebody mad recently. Okay. They tried to send me a person that had a Dogman story. And this other person sends me another one that says, now, I didn't know these two knew each other, but apparently they have like some, that's on them. They have their own beef, right? I don't want to get involved in any more beef with anybody. He said, that story is nothing compared to this one. That person was attacked by a Dogman. This person was literally ate by a Dogman. How is this person eaten by a Dogman? Are they still alive? They said yes.
I was eaten by a Dogman.
So the Dogman ate them, pooped them out, and they reconstituted.
That's what happened to me, yes. And I live to tell the tale.
So I listened to both people's stories. The people that sent them to me, I could safely say one of them is still a paratrooper. The other one, maybe not. Because I was like, what is this? This isn't a competition. He got mad. He said, you know what I went through to get this story? I climbed Mount Everest, and I flew off like a flying squirrel into a Shaolin temple, fighting multiple monks. I was like, why were you fighting the monks? Because I needed to get the witness. I needed to get to him. And when I got him, and I arm wrestled Bigfoot, and I got him loose, fighting communist Nazi vampires.
What a
Yeah.
hero.
See, there's
Communist Nazi
Zombie
vampires. Yeah.
there's a
course.
level of commitment I can respect.
That's crazy.
So I don't
man.
want to hear any excuses that, oh, you could run out of stories. No, you can't, because look at what this man did.
Yeah,
Just
exactly.
to get
Exactly.
you that one story.
And then
Anybody
he
can do
detoured.
this.
He detoured, and he caused peace in the Middle East. He said, I went to Israel/Palestine. I caused the peace. This stuff that was going on over there went over there because I allowed it. And I got tired of the noise. I said, I'm going to stop this. And he stopped it. He stopped the war in Ukraine. The Russians are pulling out. North Korea will now be joined with Korea thanks to this man. Bless you. I said, damn, he did a lot of things, man. This guy, he did a lot of things. He was a fighter pilot, cowboy, astronaut. And he said, I got this guy. He got a story, man. Then I talked to the guy, and he's just like, I don't know what he's talking about. I just, I didn't even get bit by a dog, man. I was in a parking lot throwing out some trash, and for real, I'm not even joking. The guy was like, it wasn't that bad. It was I'm slightly exaggerating a little bit, but that was so crazy. And the dude was just like, I don't know what he's talking about. I'm blown away that he was talking about that. So his story was actually not as, and he don't care. The witness didn't care. The witness don't even know me. His story was not as populated with craziness.
Fantastical.
Yeah, fantastica, as this guy made it seem. And the other dude's story was pretty good. I mean, it wasn't like Joe Barger, blowing one of them's eye out or something like that. It ain't nothing like that. It ain't some of the stuff we've heard over the years, or the dude, Patrick, I think it was his name, that fought these things off because he was a homeless guy living, and he's up in a tree. It wasn't like that. But then they act like it's a competition. Well, it's a Dogman trauma competition. They got the bronze and the silver.
The Dogman Trauma
Gold.
Olympics.
Yeah, Dogman Trauma Olympics. And I had this one lady. She told me her story, and it was her and her husband, and she had this horrible thing happen. Then he got on there, and he was like, "Oh yeah, well this thing was doing this and that," and then she got back on there. And she started telling even a more fantastical story. Never retold their stories. I said, "Man, come on, man! Each retelling, they were topping each other." I said, "Y'all got to be kidding me, man!" So it gets pretty nuts, man. People will do and say things. They will do and say some things to get, their, what would you call it? 5 minutes of fame, 15 minutes of fame, whatever. Just as long as you,
A little bit of recognition.
Yeah. Especially when they want you to tell. My name is J. Thurston Howell III. I want you to say that. Say the name, yes, and where I am from.
Esquire.
I'm a greeter at Walmart.
I want you to hold up a picture of my headshot.
They send in 15 different photos. Here's the pictures of me. Put them on your thumbnails and whatnot. I want people to know who I am. I defeated the Dogman. There is no more Dogman. I destroyed them all.
He's been vanquished.
I used a frost ball. It's kind of like a fireball, but it's made of ice.
I learned it from Mortal Kombat.
Yes. Playing Dungeons and Dragons in my mother's basement. I destroyed these villains. It's over. There's no more Dogman. If anybody says there's a Dogman still, they're lying.
I threw a Dragon Ball Z ball at him.
It's over. Oh, man. Yeah, exactly. 86. Get my best side. You see? That one. My best side. Yeah, and so you have to humor some of these people. But you know damn well that a lot of this is they're just trying to one-up each other. And the Bigfoot people have been doing this forever. I mean, it's been 30, 40 years of that. I gave Bigfoot a fish. And the next person, oh yeah, I cooked him. I smoked him a brisket.
Yeah.
And the other was like, I gave him a gift basket from Bath and Body Works. The other one's like, oh, is that it? I gave him that and Macy's, and I gave him a brisket, bouquet of roses. Went to Hellsberg.
Threw in a charcuterie board just for fun.
About Dogman a car. All right.
I was the reverend at his wedding. I did, I did it. I did all these things for him.
I bought his favorite pipe tobacco.
Oh, yeah, exactly, Rick. There you go. You toked it up. You're hanging out with him. You know what he likes. He likes that stickiest of the icky. That's what he's into. So we're getting some people in the chat. Here's what I got to tell you. We got the new year coming up, and of course, it's Christmas Day, right? Christmas today was Christmas. 5 people were picking for hoodies tonight. 5 people, and in fact, we got 300 people in here right now. Let's do the first one, right? We're gonna do it like this. Tony, you could start. We'll go this way. We'll start with you, and then we will all work together to pick the last one of the night.
If you want to win a hoodie, let me know.
Tell me if you've won. Who in here hasn't won? Who didn't get a Christmas present today? Did you not? Are you one of those people that didn't get a Christmas present? This one here says he's not won.
I went to Jared for the Dogman.
It's gotta be Jared.
He went to Jared. got ripped off like an idiot. He must love me. He went to Jared.
I'm gonna
Where'd your husband go
choose
to? Zales.
Sales.
Arch-
Sales on sales.
I'm gonna choose Archangel 5627. They've never won.
It is actually warm in here today.
Yeah.
Yeah, turn that AC on. Tony got a pretty cool shirt on today too. Who did you choose?
Archangel 5627.
Archangel.
There they are.
Just 1 second, folks. I had to get my stress ball here. Thank you. So you picked. I don't even see the person's name on here.
They just commented saying, "Hey, what's up, Randy?"
906. They commented saying I've never won.
All right, if you want to win, let us know.
Old head said they won before, but they're alone on Christmas. I'm sorry. Sorry, anybody that's got to be alone on Christmas. At least it was hard trying to find a place to eat today.
Yeah.
We ended up going to this Japanese place. It was really good. It was really good. I don't eat uncooked sushi. I used to. I don't do no more. Obviously, I don't want the. But so I ate cooked sushi, and it was good. I mean, it was, they had some fusion dishes in there. It was really good. I liked it. So if anybody doesn't know, last night we were out and about, and we were at the ranch. We weren't at our ranch. We were at my Aunt Linda's ranch. My Aunt Linda's ranch, if you were to look at a map and say we had mapped these things out and had, is that my drink?
No.
Are you drinking my drink?
Yeah.
No.
Who she is.
Trying to set me up.
That looks like one of mine. I was like, you better not be drinking my drink. You trauma bonded little turd. So last night we were out at the ranch. I'm not even going to y'all tell the audience what happened last night. It was really weird. We were sitting there with my Aunt Linda, and we're out in she lives out in the boonies.
Yeah,
She
way
really
out
If you
there.
watch the video, you would see that. I just to show an example, I drove the 4-wheeler around to an area that is nowhere anybody goes. And the dogs were running in front of us. She has a couple cow dogs, same kind of dogs we got, the border collies. They're cow dogs. That's what they are. Yeah, you're right. Law Morgan says the video cut out at 36 minutes. The video cut out, and I don't know what happened. We didn't even know it had cut out. We kept talking. The stuff kept happening.
Yeah, just like lagged out.
And we just kept talking. And so at one point we cut the video. We were all sitting there, and it got very quiet. And then all of a sudden the coyotes and every animal on earth started freaking out again. I mean, we heard, dude, I can't tell. We heard a donkey.
Yep.
And we heard it sounded like sheep.
Yeah.
Somebody had
like
some
bunch of farm animals.
bunch of farm animals out there. It
Just
was
going nuts.
It was weird. You can move this over just a little bit. I can't see y'all. There you go. And so we heard all kinds of stuff out there, and it was crazy. Bo Chow says it was the goat man. No, it wasn't the goat man. Who's this guy, dude? Are you being serious, dude? Are you joking? I'm joking with you, Bo. I don't know you. No, it wasn't Bo. It wasn't the goat man. We don't know what it was. I can honestly say we don't know. So tell the sequence of events, y'all. Who wants to tell it?
I mean, all of us were there, so any of us could say it. But basically, what happened was we were all kind of just.
You have to move in, Maddie, next to
Because
Anthony a little more.
I can't read.
Yeah, we got to scooch in a little bit tighter.
Basically, what had happened was we were sitting out in her garage area, kind of just hanging out after the Christmas party, and we kept hearing off in the distance what sounded like low grumbles. And like at first, you know, I didn't hear it because I was kind of further back in the garage, but like all of you guys heard it, and Linda was sitting there, and she goes, "I've never heard anything like that." And I've
8 years, she
Yeah.
said she'd
There
been-
8
never
years.
heard that before.
So we just, you know, kept sitting there, and then once again, woo, it happened again, and that's when we kind of all got up to like try to get some flashlights and figure out where that might have been coming from. And Linda was kept getting weirded out because like she was just like, I don't know what that is, and I've never heard anything like that out here.
Yeah, I mean, it was pretty loud. I mean, well, if I was sitting right across from you, I heard it like every time. What was it, like 4 or 5 times it happened, or maybe
Mhm.
just
Well, it was
about?
weird because, like, I mean,
Well,
like,
Dee said it was half a
started-
dozen times because he texted me when we were out on the 4-wheeler, you know, and he and when the stream ended, we were heading back, you know, and one of the dogs got really spooked and he jumped in the 4-wheeler with us. Willie.
Yeah, Willie.
So Willie jumped in the 4-wheeler with us. He's a good dog. He's a good boy. And he just was like, the heck with this. And then we couldn't find Waylon. And we had to stop and we're calling him. And you could hear these coyotes going nuts on one side. And you could hear cows mooing and going crazy in one and the other. And Linda was kind of freaked out. She was like, I've never heard this. She's like, this never happened before.
Yeah.
And then it was weird because I looked down and Dee had texted me and says that it happened again. It happened 2 more times.
Mm-hmm.
So we heard it 5 times. It happened twice while we were out and about. So it was still out there, whatever it was. If I had to say what I thought it was mimicking you originally.
Yeah, I was gonna say because it was weird that like it started with me, like we were sitting there in the garage, and like I had burped and like it was like a low grumble, and then that was me.
Yeah.
But like nobody thought that it came from the woods because I was in the garage. It was obvious, but then we hear it again, and
It wasn't you.
that wasn't me.
It sounded just like it.
It came from the woods out there. Like that wasn't me, but it sounded exactly the same. It was like a mimicking the sound that I made.
Yeah, it was really bizarre.
And then it just kept going, and then they heard it 2 more times as we were in that ATV just way out there just in the sticks. We weren't even there, and they heard it.
Yeah, it was weird. So I ended up walking up to the edge of the woods, and then I walked up their driveway is super long. I mean, it is a super long driveway. And so I ended up walking up partway up the driveway. And I thought Tony was behind me. You were at one point. Then I turn around and Tony's like, the house is way back. He's way back there. And there's nobody behind me. And so I just said, oh, okay, nobody's out here behind me. And then a few minutes later, Anthony walked up. Then
that's when we found the owl.
Yeah, then
I
you
went to grab
came
the
back up.
flashlights.
Yeah, and so we look up and there's an owl up in the tree, a big
Mhm.
owl, and it flew out of the tree, knocked a tree branch down on top of me. I don't know. I don't know what that was, but that didn't stop it. We walked around for a little bit, and then at one point it was me and Maddie, and it was still making noise. And somebody said, "What color, Josh? Are you talking about the owl?" The owl was like grayish white.
Yeah.
It was a very light colored owl. And so then it was me and Maddie, and we heard something on the other side of the tree line,
Yeah.
which I don't know what that was. It wasn't the growl. It was just like like we were walking. You could hear us walking, and then we stopped, and we heard something still kind of walk, or like we heard,
Mhm.
Yeah, it was really creepy.
It was creepy. Yeah, I don't know what that was. Nellie walked around the other side toward the back, going into the dark, and I was like, "Please don't do that," because the dogs ran, like the dogs took off, right? Except for the red healer. What was the dog's name?
Daisy.
Yeah, that jihadist dog.
Mhm.
You stand up. She's like, She wants to chew you up.
She looks like a hyena.
Yeah, she looked like a hyena. She came running out. I said, "What is that? You have a cave hyena here? Like, what is it?" She keeps her in the back during the party because she'll go crazy on people. But Willie and Waylon are pretty chill border collies, and they're like, they're cattle dogs. They know what they're doing, but they're not going to just run away like that. Like, they just took off toward the back. And then I called Willie. He finally came back. And normally he doesn't come to people, but he came to me. And I think part of it was probably motivated by fear because something was out there. And so I said, you know what, let's go ahead and let's go live. And, when we heard it, the fourth time we heard it, that's when I said we need to go live. And so when I was sitting there messing with my phone, it did it again. And but then all this noise was coming from the other side of the property, which is why we drove the 4-wheeler around that side. And then it got so thick and so bad over there, we had to turn back around and go the other way. So then Linda was like, let me take you to the back part of the property. Have not been there at night, driving around the back of the property ever. That was the first time in the back of that property at night. And I've been to that property multiple times, but I have not been to the back of that property like that. And so we ended up, y'all missed it. We ended up going to the deer stand. And Linda said this deer season, they've taken 6 bucks. 6 bucks. So there's a lot of deer back there. I know that one of her neighbors, well, they wouldn't be a neighbor. It was somebody that was at the party. They live probably, they wouldn't be neighbor. I mean, I don't know anybody that lives like super close to her because they live well in the middle of nowhere. But I know somebody who lives about 6 miles from there. And his name is Brady. And Brady was telling us that he found a deer that was partially chewed up and had been strewn like in different directions. And it didn't look like coyotes. It was just like one single predator because of the way the bite marks looked on this thing. And that happened 3 years ago. And so he just chalked it up to, maybe a very large canid. I don't think that at the time because he was at the Moravian Hall there in Granger, and my friend, I say friend, he's married to my cousin, but he was telling me when he went there that this guy was the one that told me. He goes, get in touch with this dude. So I talked to him. He thought I was like with Fish and Game or something. I was like, no, dude, I told him, I have a show about weird stuff. Then he goes, oh, okay. He goes, because I didn't kill that deer. It was at a deer season. It was in August of 2023. So one of the things he told me, this is weird, right? He said that deer, and now we're going to get into the Christmas stuff here, but this is what we're talking about right now because of what happened. He said that it was a bizarre thing because the way that the animal was, it was like the animal was gutted and then drugged, and the entrails were strewn about, which doesn't make sense because if anybody knows wolves and coyotes and wild dogs, they're canids, especially canids, and cats do this too. What do they eat first? Take a wild guess. I've been on ranches long enough to know, having worked on ranches and I'm from the sticks, folks. I'm telling you. I mean, all you got to do is, go to my family's Christmases,
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So Maddie, speaking of which, Maddie, this was your first Christmas because last Christmas everybody had to work, but this Christmas you came to my family's. What was your impression of my?
Very, very country. So it's funny that you have people like, he's not from the country. Yeah, I can tell you very much is. So.
Yeah. I think I'm the only one that don't wear cowboy boots every day.
Yeah, everybody there's either farmer, rancher, just owns land, something or other.
Yeah.
Lives way out in the boonies.
I was just listening to you talk. I don't remember who it was about cattle, and I'm just like, as much as I know about cattle, it's just the cow says moo. That's as far as my knowledge goes.
Yeah, because we were talking with what's his name, Kevin, about his cattle. He wants to put them out on my ranch, like a lease thing. And so, anyways, we were talking about this because that's where my family's from. D says I sleep in my cowboy boots. Probably does. I don't. I have to be in the city. And no offense to anybody from the country, but my country family and both sides of my family are very country. They really are. And they all own cows, sheep, goats, chickens, whatever. But in my line of work, I can't just go up there and be like, hey, this is what we're going to do now, okay? You got a lot of homeless people out here causing lots of problems. My company will fix these problems. I'm going to tell you right now, you have no idea. I know how to work with these people. See, I used to work cows. These people are just like cows. They're just like cattle, You take one of them prods, get back out of here, homeless guy. Don't be up in that. Get out that garage. What are you doing over there on the roof? Why are you at that pool? Why are you stealing that?
Go on, boy, get.
You need to get up out that fire escape. Well, I'm gonna tell you right now. That's how I do things. Put your feet up on the desk and spit tobacco on the floor.
Yeah.
They love that. They're like authentic cowboy.
Yeah.
I'm from San Jose. I have never seen such cowboyry ever. You're hired, sir. Thank you, ma'am. Listen, Miss Lady Bitch. Look, you will not be disappointed in our work. All right. Technically, I don't listen to women's folks. I don't really like that kind of talk where they tie the ching chang chong chong talking all of that stuff that you would be doing. I don't do that. But I'm gonna listen to you because you're gonna pay me. All right. Go ahead and write that check right now. Because I'm gonna go out there and whoop some ass.
And once they see those spurs, they know he means business.
That's it. I come out there riding on a steer.
Yeah.
Roping them. Roping those homeless people. And then we take them and we tie them up. We call the governor. We're like, hey, he's a good friend of mine. Hey, Governor so-and-so. We got one for you. Send him back to Afghanistan, wherever he's from. These people are American citizens. Exactly. No more. Revoke it. Send them to Somalia. That's how we do things. Just very ignorant, very,
That's how you keep a business running.
That's right.
People.
The business and people in Austin, they love it, love it, love it. They love the authenticity.
They
Yeah.
eat it up.
They do.
Makes them feel like one of the common folk.
They want to feel poor and ignorant.
Mm-hmm. One of the little people.
But what you don't realize is half those people that talk like that are actually very wealthy.
Yeah, they got money.
They go into town when they need some feed. That's about it. Yes or no? Come on, trauma bonded people.
Yes, absolutely. Yes.
Whatever you say. Whatever keeps.
Whatever this man says, he is absolutely right. It is the
Exactly.
God honest truth.
I'm gonna get a Kim Jong, what's his name? Haircut. Come out. My people are starving. Yeah, you could share with them, Kim, but you won't do that, man. Right? So here's the funny thing. Like we're out there, and Linda tells us, she's like, "There's a boneyard."
Oh yeah, the bone.
And my Aunt Linda is very. She has a job. She works in town. Her husband is the rancher, but she helps. I said, "Where is this boneyard?" She says, "Right." I put all the deer after we whatever, and if we we kill a cow or whatever, the bones and all the stuff goes out there. I said, that is why you have stuff running around on your property, mimicking things. That is why. When you go out there and you see all those animal bones out there, you're like, okay, I am not going to be out there by myself in the middle of the night. That's not going to happen. I don't think that's a smart thing to do. But she doesn't have any fear, but I worry about her, especially now after hearing that, because Anthony, it continued when Anthony burped or belched, whatever you want to call it, the second time, it did it again, like almost immediately. And it was coming from behind us to the point where Nellie was like, you need to turn your chair and face the other. My brother had his chair up against he had his back up against the wall. I was the only one not facing. I don't care. I don't think it's going to get me. And I'm going to tell you why I believe. This is why I think it because I think it's demonic. If you really believe that these creatures aren't of a demonic nature, and I mean like if they're not some sort of, and we bounce this word around all the time, but if you don't think they're the Nephilim, you don't think that that's what they are, the disembodied spirits. I mean, that's what they are. They do have an ability to become physical. That is, I believe that. So, what do you guys think? And now, of course, these are not reliable people because I have beaten these people down so bad that they just agree with anything.
They have Stockholm syndrome.
But Stockholm. Pretend like you're not trauma bonded Stockholm witnesses for just a moment. Suspend your reality.
Okay.
Okay. We'll start with Anthony.
As you ask.
Yes, as you command.
As you wish.
You got to do the voice. Pretend for a moment that I do not control your souls. Right? Okay. So, Anthony, what do you think? Because you heard it, and we were out there, and why would all those animals be doing all that? I mean, what do you think? Tell the truth, whatever you believe. Your honest opinion.
Honestly, the fact that that like we heard that, but like we also heard a bunch of different like coyotes yipping and yapping, just like animals freaking out. I mean, that to me is like evidence that maybe this was something like a little bit more on the kind of like flesh and blood side. I mean, like I do think that these things are like evil and of a spiritual nature. But like, you remember how we always how we've been talking about how like whenever they're around and it's completely silent, it's because they have this ability to lock down like their local reality around them and pull you kind of into their own little pocket reality. But like that's not really what happened last night. We heard it, but so did a bunch of these other animals. So like maybe it was one of these. If there was something out there, it's probably something that's spent like maybe like a lot of time on this physical plane, because we've also talked about how like the longer they're here, the more they're kind of subject to like just the physical world, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But I do think that they go back and forth, which is why like you're never going to find a corpse. You're never.
So you're not totally agreeing with me. You're just kind of okay. We'll go on to the next person.
He doesn't want to wander too far off the reservation.
Yeah, exactly. He really wants to say they're flesh and blood. You son of a bee. Jeez.
He's like, keep those thoughts in here. Keep those thoughts in here.
Cover your ears. Don't want to hear the voices.
Stop the voices. Wolf is right.
Yeah.
Wolf is right all the time.
Yeah. You got to hit yourself in the ear. To stop it. Go ahead, Maggie. I'm Maddie. I'm sorry.
Yeah. So the last part I was actually going to say about, because I think I remember Linda Godfrey talking about how she believed the longer that these things are here, the more physical they become. Like they have to kind of abide by the rules of. So that's why you'll see these things eating more, because they become more physical as they're in our reality. But at the end of the day, they're still spiritual beings, which would explain why haven't we ever found the body, or why isn't there more physical evidence? Because at the end of the day, yeah, maybe they become more physical, maybe they can just manifest as physical, but they're still spiritual beings, which is why they're just able to evade detection, not to mention just all the reports of them doing weird things. But yeah, the rumbling noise was really bizarre, and like I said, it was always in response to every time you burp, but it was just this low rumbling, and it didn't sound mechanical either. It wasn't like,
No.
it could have just been, a tractor or machine or something. It sounded like,
No, it sounded like a low guttural rumble.
yeah, like something physical, something alive was making that noise. But yeah.
I've been known to have this kind of effect on my environment where animals just go crazy. So I'm not sure exactly what happened last night. But if I had to
Probably smell
guess,
something dead when you're around.
Like dinner bell.
no,
It's
Like a
buzzards
prey
overhead,
is near.
licking their
I'm in
licking their
danger.
chops.
no. I mean that wood line that was right there right next to the driveway is just really creepy. I was shining the light through, and you could hear little things behind it. You can't really see too far deep into it. So, but I do believe it was something of some sort of spiritual nature, and I think it was kind of responding to Anthony. I don't think like obviously Anthony was doing it on purpose. Just the way that his burp sounded,
Like a growl.
made this thing like think like, oh, something is like me is nearby or whatever.
Or it's challenging.
Yeah. It's like, are you threatening me?
Then like I noticed that like once we got into the gator to drive and try to figure out like to drive around the property, then it kind of felt like it went away. And then that's when I know we started hearing all these other animals going crazy because like I felt it kind of felt like it was leaving us and going somewhere else, and it started bothering these other animals and driving them up the wall. So,
and there was all kinds of animals
Yeah,
too.
that's what was
Yeah.
so weird.
Because there's 2 pieces of property. One's adjacent is 400 acres, and her where she lives is about 100 acres up in. And then behind there's like a good 100 acres before you go to the one back. But on the other side, there's like about, say, probably 3 football fields away. There's like a little clump of houses, like 3, you know. And
what was weird was like, you know, I've been out in the country with you, you know, long enough to where I could kind of figure out what most noises are. Donkeys, very obvious. Coyotes, you can figure it out, but like there was some other noises in that little pack that like didn't sound like
they didn't sound like I didn't hear no hogs.
No
There's
hogs.
hogs out there, but I didn't hear no hogs out there last night.
Even like the sheep were a little bit more obvious, but like I remember hearing like howls and like little barks that like sounded like something else that I was like, I don't know what the heck that is.
If you notice when me and you were over there on the other side of the gator before we started filming, we heard what sounded like coyotes, and you could hear it on the show. I think on the show too, probably if you go back and listen to it. But there was something mixed in with those coyotes that was loud. It was like one thing, and it was loud, very guttural, and when you could hear the yip 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 of the coyotes, something was with them. They weren't fighting. Whatever this was, it was with them, but it sounded like it was guttural, low growl. Yeah. Would that be correct?
But that's what makes me think it might be of a spiritual nature, because like the distance that had to travel to get to that over there was pretty. It's a lot. So like you said, it's multiple football fields, and it got over there by the time we just got into the gator, which was still in that same little parking lot. So I don't really know how you can do that without being of some kind of spiritual nature. Just go that distance and get over there. And it's either that or there was multiple things there.
Yeah.
And that, whatever it was, got triggered by whatever Anthony bothered. Way to go, Anthony.
Yeah, in short, Anthony almost got us attacked by a Dogman or Bigfoot or whatever that was. So thank you, Anthony. Thank you.
That's what I took from it.
It's not my fault they had a bunch of good food there. I mean, what am I going to do, not eat?
You just starve.
Yeah, exactly.
Not gonna lie, when you burp, sometimes I don't know whether to hand you like gas X or colon exorcist, because man, it's it's kind of terrifying. Not gonna lie,
dude, and it can go on like and the Bigfoot got challenged. He's like, "Well, oh really?"
Like death metal vocals.
Hold my ear leg, and he just goes crazy.
Could be a meeting.
John Phoenix, thank you for that. SEK 200. I think that's like $10. I think that's $10. It sounds big though. 200, but it's SEK. I don't know.
It's
what is it? Is that Swedish?
Yeah.
That's Swedish money, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you for that, though. We appreciate that. I don't know exactly what that translates into American money, but I think it's like $10. But thank you. He says 18, so it's $18. Okay, that's cool. Thank you for that, man. I don't know what that translates to. But La Morgan, thank you for that super chat. John Phoenix, good guy. And everybody who's donated, thank you for the donations. Everybody get your name in green because we're going live on Saturday. It's going to be a members only. So we're going to get trolled. People are going to watch us and do all this other crap, which we don't care at this point. I really don't care. But they're going to have to pay to do it because we're done with the bull crap. So whatever, dude. Here's my thing. The most disappointing thing in the whole night was that Anthony thought that the gator was a golf cart. How are ranchers? And you know because we have one.
I said it's like a golf cart.
No. Like, go back and listen to the show.
I said it's not a 4-wheeler.
You weren't completely inebriated, but you had a drink or two, right?
Not there, no.
It definitely is.
He was sober.
No.
Wow.
Oh, it's even more
That's
embarrassing.
even more embarrassing. Yeah, so a sober Anthony.
That thing is not a four-wheeler.
That is
It
a
has 4
four-wheeler.
wheels.
That's absolutely an ATV.
Okay, I'm gonna show you what a four-wheeler
Oh,
is. Okay.
Here we
No,
go.
This
he's
is-
thinking of those.
Anyway, we were on a John
Motocross.
Deere Gator, which is an ATV, and it has the tires, off-road tires of an ATV.
Do you know what ATV
They use it to
stands
go out in
for?
the middle of the
Yes,
boonies.
all-terrain vehicle.
Yes.
Look, that's what four-wheelers are. That's what it is.
So you're saying that Gator is not an all-terrain vehicle?
Good grief, dude.
That's what a four-wheeler. That's what everyone thinks of. Everyone in their right mind when you say four-wheeler.
So, anyways, everyone laugh at Anthony for thinking that four-wheeler was a golf cart. Okay.
If you want to say it's an ATV, fine, but it's not. You can't call it a four-wheeler.
Sure, I can. It's on 4 wheels.
Yeah, I mean,
We'll call it.
Okay, so you can call a car a four-wheeler.
No, I call my truck a golf cart.
Oh God.
One of my trucks is a golf cart. The other one's a four-wheeler, folks. How about that?
That thing is. I'll
I
stand
hit
by
the
it.
links. I go out there on my Silverado.
My truck's a skateboard.
Nobody visualizes that when you say four-wheeler. Nobody. Like it's an ATV, but not a four-wheeler.
Wow.
Oh yeah, my Toyota Camry is a four-wheeler because it has
Look
four
at this-
wheels.
What is this guy's
It makes
deal?
no sense.
So you're gonna twist and turn.
No.
Mental gymnastics like an athlete. Here we go.
You brought this to the floor. You wanted the heat, okay? So, or you can just get to the point,
Okay.
or you can just get to the point, and move on from
The
this.
most
'Cause you're not gonna
disappointing
win.
thing
You're not gonna
was
win.
not knowing that it was a
No.
four-wheeler.
That's not a four-wheeler.
You still called it a golf cart.
You know, Aunt
I said
Linda
it's
and,
like a
and
golf
Philip.
cart.
Do you think Philip and Linda are going to have a golf cart? Do you really think that?
I didn't say it was literally a golf
These
cart.
are some of the most country people on
I
the
said
planet.
it's like a golf cart, but like for rugged terrain.
They're just going to be out there hitting the links, right?
That's not a four-wheeler, dude.
This
It's
guy.
not. I
Yes,
promise.
it
No,
is.
it's not. No, it is not.
Four-wheeler.
It has four wheels, but
Okay,
nobody.
y'all look up John Deere four-wheeler. Let's just see what it says on there. See if anything pops up. We get any kind of hits.
The chat is agreeing with me too.
Where's the chat?
don't encourage him. Don't.
Yeah, you got four-wheelers that got handlebars. Exactly, August. But you also have four-wheelers that don't have handlebars. They have a steering wheel. It's the same thing. It's a Gator. What gets me is Uncle Butch and Bev have the Gator. There it is. Look, right there. Look, there it is. That pops it up. Show it again, Maddie.
Here, can you see it?
There it is.
Let me see.
Every cousin, every aunt, uncle I
Yeah,
know.
yeah, it says John Deere Gator. Yeah, that's what that is. It doesn't
I
say
know.
four-wheeler.
There ain't no damn golf cart. You said this is a
Okay.
golf cart.
Okay,
Last
look.
night.
That's because she looked up
Look up
John Deere
four-wheeler.
Gator. I looked up John Deere four-wheeler. First thing that popped up.
No, look,
Yeah, would you look at that?
just type in four-wheeler. Just type in four-wheeler and look what you get. Exactly what I said you get. Over and over and over.
That's
Someone's
not
mad
true.
he's wrong.
I did too. What is that?
No,
Same
no,
thing.
no.
That is
Crazy.
the
Four-wheeler. No,
Four-wheeler. Looked it up.
Look,
All right,
Look, look, look. Archangel,
it's both. Okay, look.
It's both. You're just being.
This is Tony's
Semantic.
big own. Okay, look. So it starts off with the ATVs, right? And he's like, look, I'm right. But then you scroll. Oh, look at all the image results. Exactly what I said. Four-wheeler.
So, but you're saying that
Let's
is
keep
not.
going. Let's
You're-
keep going
you're
more.
saying
and more,
that
and
that
more.
You're saying that is not a four-wheeler. That proves that there's even one image
on the new Zoom
says that it is.
Oh my God.
No, and more, and more.
You're to blame for this.
Ooh,
We've been on this for like the past 5 minutes.
Swing and a miss.
Look, there's another one over
You
here.
wanted to
What are
take
you
a stand
talking
on
about?
it.
I want to take a stand. I said I was
No,
disappointed.
no.
Folks, you know
You're
what?
wrong.
Put this to the
No, no,
table.
you
He
know
just
what?
got proven as a fool, and now he has to
That's right.
act
Exactly.
out.
We know how it is.
Thank you, Ona Holly. Anthony is completely right.
Okay, you okay? All right, fine. Anthony's right. The point is, folks, is that he thought it was a damn golf cart. That's the point. I don't
Thank
care
you,
whether
Taylor.
you call
And
it
it
a
says-
four-wheeler, a three-wheeler,
Anthony
a
is correct.
two-wheeler, a
Thank you.
one-wheeler, a unicycle.
It's not a golf.
Call it whatever you want, folks.
Thank
The
you,
bottom
Doc,
line is
for
this
agreeing with me.
kid should know better because you've been out every farm and ranch that we know. Every single aunt, uncle, cousin, whatever I have has a farm or a ranch, right?
Thank
Yes,
you,
sir.
Lori Gibbs.
Hold on.
for
Did you
agreeing
answer
with
the
me.
question, sir? Answer the question. Do they own
Do what?
farms or ranches?
Who?
Any of my relatives, all relatives,
Yes.
any of them.
We've established that.
All right. Yeah. Right.
Thank you,
Everyone-
Archangel. Gator is an ATV,
How
but not a
many?
four-wheeler.
How many of these people? That's not even the point. The point is it's not a damn a golf cart. That's what you called it. because you got the
I
retardation.
disagree
he's
with you
kinda-
that it was a
He's
four-wheeler.
trying to obfuscate.
Yeah,
dude.
he's kind of obvious.
He's trying to-
Four-wheeler is not a
golf cart.
Go watch the video, folks. Do yourself a favor. Watch the ignorance come out of his mouth, and he's over there.
Thank you,
"This
Gordon
is a-
Cogburn,
What is a gator?
for
Like,
agreeing with me. Thank you,
Uncle
Gordon
Butch has
Cogburn.
one. Rob has one. Cousin Sherry.
Yeah, nobody calls them
They all
four-wheelers.
they have four-wheelers. They have gators. They have you called it a golf cart. You've been on one 100 times.
I said that's like
At
a
Emily's
golf
wedding,
cart.
me and Clayton, we said we're gonna go get the four-wheeler. Yeah, so what? It's got the little hood on there, and it's got the whatever. The other one doesn't have the hood. We still call it a four-wheeler.
You're still going on this.
Did me or Clayton or anybody ever call it? I'm gonna go get the golf cart. Let's go put hay and feed the horses in a golf cart. Nobody.
I've never called it a golf cart. I said it was
on
like
Thursday night, I've never driven a golf cart to go and feed. Who in the right mind is going to go do that? Who in the right
I'm
mind is going
not
to do that?
letting this go, but
I'm asking the question.
I'm wanting to shut up about it.
Son,
But
you
you're
want to
not.
ask the question.
But
That's
you're
all I'm
not.
saying.
But you're not. It's just like
Christmas,
7
everybody.
minutes now of
Because
this.
you decided to
Because-
fight back instead of
no,
saying,
because
okay, yeah, I was
you-
being ignorant.
No, because you had
I
to be
called it a
right.
golf cart. I should have known better. When have we ever hit
See?
the links out there?
Now they're going to timestamp this to get to the stories and skip the four-wheeler.
Oh my god!
Oh, you mean golf cart?
No, I mean four-wheeler, which is what I meant from day one.
This guy.
He falls for it every time.
It's so crazy. He goes out there and goes, "This is a golf cart. Tires this big, like
I said it's like a golf cart.
all-terrain tires, folks.
Uh-huh.
It's like a skateboard. Has
They
one
use
too.
it to feed.
Oh, yeah, so a skateboard's a four-wheeler.
Yeah,
Oh gosh.
these people.
A scooter's a motorcycle.
It's like a golf cart. So
Sailor
same
Emerson
thing.
says, "Wolf is wrong. Wolf is wrong. How, Sailor? How many ranches have you been on? Let me ask you that. How many ranches have you been on? Now we love you. But let's be honest.
So, like, what's the time limit?
Right.
on it? Are we going to go with this
Because
for another
who
10 minutes?
goes out to feed cows in a golf cart?
15 minutes? What? How long are you going to stand on this point?
Just in my whole life, dude.
I mean, can we get like a timer or something, like an ETA before we move on to it, to the subject matter?
Whatever. It's an all-terrain vehicle. Shut up.
Yes, it is.
Look, Doc just said it. Wolf's right. He's a Marine. Look at that. He knows.
He grew up on a dairy.
Yeah,
Grew
he
up
was
on a
saying.
farm.
Yeah, he's saying you're right. It's not a golf cart. It's an ATV. I'm saying it's not a four-wheeler.
Well, I don't give a shit. It's a four-wheeler. It's an ATV. Look, folks, I'm drinking
Oh,
a Coke.
God.
It's not a Coke. It's a Poppy. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to grab a Kleenex. I didn't grab a Kleenex. I grabbed a tissue from some other Dollar Tree. What does it matter? You know it's not a damn golf cart, and you're dumb enough to go out there and say it on the show. Go look at it, folks.
I
Go
didn't say it
timestamp
was
it.
literally a golf cart.
Yeah.
I said it was like a golf cart.
No, it ain't. It ain't even like a golf cart. I've never seen a golf cart that said John Deere.
It's shaped the same
It
way.
is not shaped like a golf cart. That is not a golf cart.
All right, we can all agree it's not a golf
It
cart.
just keeps
Let's
going
go,
and
let's go,
going
let's
and going
go.
and going.
Look at this. Now he's pouting.
Now he's exhausted.
No, because I'm not going to relent, but I'm willing to move on. But you're not.
You said it on the show last
Dude.
night. It was a golf cart.
Okay, yeah.
I'm not going to stop
All right.
arguing this point, but you won't give it up. You're the bad guy.
Okay.
All right.
So can we go to the people what they actually
Yes,
came
we-
for, or no?
We sure can.
Okay. Thank you, Chad, for agreeing with me. Go ahead. Go on.
What is wrong with this guy?
Let's get into the story.
You said something dumb, and
Now let's get into the stories. No,
You
no,
are
no,
both
no,
All right,
no,
folks,
no.
anyways, here's what we got, folks. So what we talked about, all seriousness aside, let's forget about this ignorant person. What we're talking about here, we literally talked to somebody who told us that they had an encounter with what they thought was Krampus. What they said was Krampus. The guy's name is Chet. He was on Ramstein Air Force Base. Everybody heard of Ramstein? Tell me if you haven't heard of Ramstein. It is not a golf cart. That is a band. And it is
4 members though, so it's definitely four-wheeler.
It is a place, though.
if each one of them had a unicycle, they'd be four.
No, they wouldn't. They'd be 4 unicycles.
Oh
Go
my
ahead,
god.
Continue.
There wouldn't be a golf cart though. I can tell
Don't
you
go
that.
off on a tangent for 15
Okay.
minutes
So,
again.
anyways, du hast mich. Look. So, anyways, he was on Ramstein. He asked me, he said, You've heard of it, right? And I'm, yeah. I mean, it's a band that made it popular, but it's also what people don't understand is that it is the largest military installation, I think it's the largest one in Germany. Look that up. Just to make sure I'm correct on that. But Rammstein is in Germany, and it
Yeah.
is a what is it called? It's called something installation. It's kind of an installation. I forgot what it's called. If you look it up, it's like SHCH, whatever. It is the largest, Doc said.
Yeah.
It's like Scheinstoffel, Schudel, Stubel, something.
Something for work. Can we pause for just a second?
Okay.
I'll take 2 seconds.
All right. Hang on.
Just letting you
All
know.
right. Stop, dude. I'm sorry I embarrassed you, dude. Okay, I'm sorry. Exactly. Why is he
Oh, you don't have to worry about that. I'm not embarrassed. You embarrassed? I'm not embarrassed.
God. I was trying to get you. No, it's about work, bro. I was just trying to mess with them, but no, we have something going on. Do you need to go talk to him?
Yeah, I'm
Okay.
going now.
All right. So, anyways, yeah, Rammstein. So, anyways, what happened was Chet and his brother Andy reached out to me. Really, more Chet than Andy, but Andy got in there and told me some stuff too. Now, thank you to my friend Daniel for reaching out to these people and telling me, hey, I know some people because he was in the military and a good friend of mine. And he lives down in San Antonio. Well, not San Antonio, Shirts. You know, that's where the Paranormal conference was. If y'all two remember. But anyways, that's where we saw the chicken place. It was such a weird name.
Oh yeah.
It was so weird. So we talked to this guy, and he's been a friend of mine for a long time. Now he was in the Air Force for like 16 years. And he was over in Germany at one time on this air base. He's a mechanic. Now, he's done all kinds of stuff because he's an Air Force mechanic. I know three. Three of my dear friends were Air Force mechanics. And so here's what happened. He tells me, he says, I know these two guys who had a crazy experience when they were children. Their dad lived at Rammstein at that base. They went out into the woods on a hike. And it was like one of these, I guess the children of the GIs or whatever. It was like the military sponsored it. The German people are very like warm with the Americans. Thank goodness, because they could just be like, you know what, we're tired of you being here, and let's, you know. So it started out as we were occupying them after World War II, but then it became we're fighting the Soviets, so it was NATO, and there's this whole thing. And so we just pumped tons and tons of military money into Germany to beef them up, right? So here's what ends up happening. They are there for 2 years with their dad. Their dad gets sent back to San Antonio, and that is where my friend met their dad. Their dad was like, he's a lot older than him, but their dad told them that this. What in the heck is going on here? My phone is going crazy.
Yeah.
It just keeps repeating. You saw that?
Yeah,
That's
weird.
weird. So he meets their dad. Their dad did not have this experience. His sons did, and in particular, Chet. Chet was the one that went out. His little brother was too young to go out on the hike. When they were out in the woods, it was Christmas time. And get this, everybody knows Krampus, right? You know what it is, whatever. Supposed to be December 12th, right? When they Krampus. So they go out on this hike, and guess what day it is?
December 12th.
December 12th. And they come across, at the very beginning of this hike, a troop of what is supposed to be people in costumes, people in suits dressed as Krampus. They walk by these people. And Chet told me, he says, man, I was a little kid. He goes, I was 11. And I thought, these creatures were scary. The people in these costumes looked real. Not one of these actors was under 6 foot. And in fact, some of them were probably 6'3", 6'4", 6'5". He says, I don't know, maybe 6.5 feet. They were huge. And there was like a dozen of them. And they didn't look at us. They didn't even turn their heads. They just kept walking in single file, all in unison, left, right, military precision. He goes, there's like 18 of us kids. He goes, I know, because the guides kept counting to make sure we were all there. They had a guide in the back, guide in the middle, guide in the front. And he says, we walk by these actors at this national park, basically. It's like a park. It's about an hour from the base. He's like, it's this big park there. We're walking around, and the counselors, one of them stopped to talk to these actors. The actors didn't respond. They just kept walking. They were all carrying baskets, and they had big logs in their hands. And they looked menacing, like they meant business. And they were walking. He said, we all, as kids, we all stopped and turned around, and we're marveling at these, the beautiful costumes, like ugly, but the costumes look real. And they smelled terrible. He's like, they smelled like sulfur and like blood. He goes, and BO. It was nasty. It was gross. He's like, and I started to think for a minute, like, maybe these are real. Maybe this is real. He goes, the Christmas before, I had learned about Krampus, who it was, what it was. He said, I was fascinated by this, and I saw these reenactors, actors, whatever you want to call them. They get to the trail, and it splits off into two directions, and 6 of them went on one direction, 6 of them went in the other direction, and they just kept walking. He goes, once we were done with the hike, everybody was just talking about it. The whole troop of kids was abuzz with that was crazy, right? It was weird looking. They get back to the ranger station where they have like these, people there, the equivalent of American park rangers, basically. They talked to these people, and they said, those actors out there in the woods, that was crazy. What were they doing out there? And he said that this German ranger was like, what actors? What are you talking about? And the guy says, well, we saw them veer off when they went off into this open area, Crazy thing right there where they supposedly split off into 2 groups. They have a camera. So they start talking in German. He says, I'm a kid. I don't know German. I'm trying to learn. I don't really know it. He's like, and I'm watching all this happen. There's a bunch of us kids there. One of the counselors told them, hey, you know what? Let's all go back to the bus. He's like, so I conveniently slipped off into the restroom. And he goes, and I sat there being a nosy kid. He goes, I'm like my mother, I'm very nosy. He's like, I sat there listening. And I heard these people talking in English to the counselor who was he was American. And he said to him and his wife, who were the ones running this, this little foray, he says, there's nobody there on camera. They go, they look, they see the camera, and this couple, they were from like Newark, New Jersey or something like that. And he said that they were shocked. They were older people, like in their 50s. And they were not, prone to just be like, oh, there's some kind of fantastical whatever. He said, in fact, these same counselors who had, taken us out on other little trips and stuff, he said they wouldn't even entertain ghost stories. We went on a little camping trip one time. They didn't want to let us talk about ghosts. He didn't believe in it. They said, no, ghosts aren't real, blah, blah, blah. So they were stunned. They didn't know what to think, and they thought, this is so bizarre. We saw these people dressed up as Krampus. They all look different. But in Germany, it is a popular thing. Not only in Germany, but in surrounding countries like Austria. There's other countries in the Netherlands. They believe in this. In the Norwegian, Swedish countries, they believe in all this. They have like Black Peter. Just like they have, it's the same thing. It's like the guy that goes with St. Nicholas to, if you're bad, this is what
the bad children.
Yeah. You get toys and presents if you're good. If you're bad, you get the pan, basically. Or the whooping stick, right? So here's what happens. They can't figure out, they don't make heads or tails of it. Now he says, I'll tell you, I didn't see the camera footage to see that it wasn't there. I didn't witness any of that. He's like, in February, my dad was done and they sent him back to the States. And we went to San Antonio. He said it was a completely different world there in San Antonio. I think he was at Lackland. But anyways, he said his dad went there to work on the planes there. And that's where he met. It wasn't that base. It was another, I think it was Kelly. But he was at Lackland for a little while. And then they would send him, because there's like 3 Air Force bases there. Like I think it's Randolph, Kelly, Now I think there's only 2, but there was Randolph Kelly and Lackland at that time. Lackland's where you do your basic training if you are in the Air Force. I know because multiple friends of mine and a lot of my family members were in the Air Force and in the Army, and I have a few from the Marines too. And then one of my best friends was a Coast Guard for like 20 years, right? And so I know all about all these military installations and all this other stuff. But anyway, his dad meets this guy who's my friend, Daniel, who says, he goes, my children had this experience, whatever. And so he tells them about it because they become best friends. His wife, my friend's wife, became really good friends with his niece. And they worked together. They got a job. They're working at a Toyota dealership. He said, so we go to Christmas with them one year. And that's when he finds out about this weird thing that happened to his kids. And his kids are only, I think, about 10 years younger than us. Daniel's a couple years older than me. I met him working downtown. His children, this guy's children, which would be Chet and Andrew. Andy is the younger. They are about 10 years younger than me, a little more than 10 years younger than me. And so he said that, he goes, I met these guys. You got to listen to their story. And that's what I did. Chet tells me this was last year, already after Christmas when he told me. It was in January. And Tony, you remember, I told you about it. I said, we got to wait until Christmas. So we said, So me and Tony talked about, me, Tony, and Anthony all talked about it. We said, we're going to wait until Christmas Day. So here is what happened. When they moved back to San Antonio a couple months later, nothing happened for like 2 months. In his Chet's own words, he said, not even a slight breeze that could be misconstrued as a ghost. He's like, the place we lived in, there were some kids that lived upstairs from us and across from us. They talked about their apartment being haunted. They believed that there was a woman there that would come and sit at the edge of their bed and grab their feet and scare the crap out of them. He's like, but that never happened to us. None of this stuff happened to us. But when we moved to San Antonio, he goes, we were living off of the base in this one area out in West San Antonio. And he said that it was a pretty nice area, and he goes, we had a house we were renting there. And it was actually my dad's former brother-in-law, because, his aunt had been divorced or whatever. He goes, him and my dad were still friends, and he gave us this house real cheap. It was cheap. And he said it wasn't, the house that they were staying at wasn't far from SeaWorld. And so he said, what's crazy about this is he goes, the very first week we were there, he goes, I don't remember what day it was. He goes, we were in the backyard playing. He goes, and they had one of those balls that goes around the pole. That's what he called it. And I said, you don't know what that is? That's tetherball. That's the greatest game ever invented. No, it's not. It's tetherball. But it's a Napoleon Dynamite game, right? You remember, Anthony, we were driving through Taylor one time, and we saw a bunch of people out there playing with that, and Anthony was like just appalled that they were playing with it.
Yeah.
What?
Why?
What was it? You got aggravated.
It's like an offense to like every other sport. I mean, I'm sorry, but it's an insult even to soccer, and for me to say that is like saying a lot.
It's the NASCAR of sports.
Like, why?
They just go
Why are you
around
gonna
in
sit there and
circles.
hit that thing? Why?
And they were out there
You could
like
do
having, like
anything
they were
else.
playing with it. They were having fun.
Yeah.
Yeah. And those streets are so bad in Taylor, you got to go slow. And so we were going over those bumps right there. And it was close to where Lola had her Dogman experience. We're going to tell that one day. And they were just hitting it, right? And the only thing that happened was one of the guys got hit in the face with it. They came around and hit one in the face, and we laughed. And then that was it. And then he said, "That's what you deserve." And I said, "Be quiet. You don't know these people. You don't know who these people are." So we took off out of there because I didn't want Anthony to get beat up. So anyway, no, I'm kidding. He didn't do that. But no, so he's like they were playing with a tetherball. He goes, and I had a stick and I was hitting it. He's like, and you know what I noticed? He goes, I picked up this club that was in the backyard and it was stuck into the ground. I took it and I said, this is cool. Me and my brother, we're like into weapons and stuff. We had gotten my grandfather. He said, we got my grandfather to take us to the flea market. Now I know where Bussey's is, right? It's a flea market over there, right? And he goes, we had these throwing stars. And we were throwing them at the tetherball, but these things were so dull that one of them bounced back and stuck my brother in the chest. And he goes, he had to go to the hospital
Dang.
and get stitches. He goes, luckily we didn't live far from the hospital. He goes, but it was about 3 inches in it, gave him a cut, and about an inch deep. He had to go to the hospital, get, stitches, whatever. He goes, my little brother just goes, starts screaming, He's like, and, I don't know what it was. He's like, but it was like he started bleeding profusely. He's like, and then my dad comes out there and he's pulling the lawnmower he's working on. He's like, what? He goes out there immediately, all this chaos. He said, they took my brother to the hospital and they left me. They left me there by myself. He goes, and I'm out there with just this club, like, okay. So I just kept hitting the tetherball, playing with it. And I thought they didn't even bother to, nothing. He said, but my mom gets to the hospital. She's one of those moms where like she meets all the neighbors, stuff like that. My mom ain't like that, but some people's moms they actually care about their kids, and so they're like, I don't, I want no weirdo around my kids, whatever. So he said, my mom, she got to the hospital. They left me. He's like, he goes, and I remember it was around Valentine's Day, right? And he said that this woman comes over. He don't know who she is. She comes over. She's a real pretty, tall, older woman, and she's like, tells him, she's like, yeah, your mom told me to keep an eye on you. She's like, I can see you. I'm going to be in my backyard. I'm going to be out there on the swing. He's like, I'm just sitting there playing with that club. And the old lady goes, what is that you got there? And he goes, I don't know. It's got all these, he goes, it had all these little metal studs on it. She takes a look at it and she says, young man, that looks pretty dangerous. How old are you? And he says, I'm 11. She goes, I don't think an 11-year-old should be playing with that. So she goes, can you hand me that? Because I don't want your mom, she seems like a nice woman, She introduced herself to me a week ago when y'all moved in, and I don't want, let me just take that from you. And he says, I got like Gollum all of a sudden. You're like, no, like Bilbo,
Yeah.
That's my words. I said, you sound like Bilbo. He goes, I was like, no. And I backed up and I reared it back at her. This woman was like, young man, you need to calm down. She says, you go ahead and play with that. But if you get hurt, and she's like, and I'm going to tell your mother. And he says, and I've never been one of those kind of kids. I've always been very respectful of elders. And I told her, I said, go ahead and call my mom. I don't care.
Oof.
I got real rude with this woman. He goes, and then I backed up and went back in the house. So she goes, and she's knocking on the door. And she says, young man, why don't you just come over to the house with me and my husband, and we'll keep an eye on you. He says, no, I don't know you. I don't know anything about you. I'm not going to do that. So she says, okay, well, your mother just called. And she's like, do you want to come to the front door and I'll bring the cordless phone and you can talk to your mother? And he says, no, I don't need to do that. She says, okay. She says, can you call your mom? She's like, is this her number? Is this her name? He says, yes, it's written down. He goes, can you go call your mother? Do you have a cordless phone or a long cord? This is a while back, He says, no, I don't have that. He lied. And he goes, and I don't know why I'm doing this.
Jeez.
He goes, and then he goes, I was looking at her in the eyes. He goes, and I just had this vision of doing something to her. He goes, I wanted to take that stick and just hit her with it. He goes, I felt like a psychopath. He goes, in my whole life, I've never been like that. And I felt so weird wanting to do this to her. And this woman, she goes, she turned out to be a very kind lady. Because we lived next to her for like two years. We never had any trouble. This woman was always very nice. She goes, for years until my mother passed, they were friends. They stayed friends. Invited us to their church, everything. He goes, and after this happened, there was never a crossword between us. But right then and there, he's like, I wanted to hit her with that club. I wanted to do something to her. And I said, lady, get away from me. And I closed the door in her face. And I locked the door. He goes, and then I took that club. He goes, and I was playing with it, swinging it around. He had a little piece of leather on the end of it. He goes, and I just let it slip. And it goes flying across the room. And it hits the lamp, goes through the lamp, and just goes right into a mirror my mother had hung up. He said, I'm sitting there, and I'm watching this happen. And I'm like, oh, no. He goes, and get this. This is freaky. He said, when it hits the mirror, I saw something in the mirror right before the mirror broke. He said, and I go, what was it? He stops. He gets quiet. He said, it looked like kind of wolf-like, but kind of like an ogre. He goes, and I couldn't describe it. He goes, if you took Bigfoot and mixed it with like a werewolf and an ogre, He says, that's all I can tell you. He goes, I saw this cartoon like years ago, like a book, and I can't remember what it was. He's like, and it looked like a freaking like orc or an ogre. And I don't know. He goes, it was weird. But then he goes, it also had these black horns, and they looked like spirals. They would straight up. He goes, and I'm looking at this thing, and I'm like, what in the hell am I looking at? But it happened so quick. I thought, okay, did I just imagine that? You know, his mom comes home. He said, my mom didn't play around. He goes, I had one of those moms. He's like, my mom's half Albanian, half Mexican. He said, he goes, she came home. He goes, I hid the club. And he said, the woman next door, her name was Allison. He said, Allison said that you were talking bad to her, talking smart to her. He goes, I'm sitting on the bed. I'm like not saying anything, just giving, you know, the sad face. She's like, she leans down. She's like, she's not playing with me. She's not, I said, I'm not playing with you. She said, Chet, look at me. He looks up. She's like, you and your little brother were doing something you weren't supposed to be doing. Now, your grandpa stupidly bought you these throwing stars. You weren't supposed to be playing with those. And she goes, I don't even know how you got him to do it, because I specifically said none of these flea market weapons. And the first day they were there, they went to the flea market, and he bought these weapons. He gave them to him, and they hit him, right? And they were out there playing with them. He goes, it was such a freaky thing. He's like, my brother threw it, and it with the tether ball going around like this. He threw this throwing star, and it just bounced off perfectly and went right back into his chest.
Oh.
And he goes, Mom, it was an accident. She goes, yeah, it was an accident. Was it an accident when you threatened this woman to hit her with the club? And he goes, what? And she's like, yes. Did you or did you not threaten to hit Allison with this club? He goes, no. He's like, those words never came out of my mouth. I just thought it. And then she looks at it, she backs up, and she's like, you did what? He goes, my dad is this big, tall, for lack of a better term, he's just a big, tall redneck. He comes in there, he's always red. He said, my dad's face was always red because he was working outside. You know, he goes, my dad was just red. He was always outside doing something. He comes in and he's sweating, and he's like, your brother, we just spent 2.5 hours at the hospital with your brother. He says, stand up, not playing. This is what happened when you were Gen X and you got stupid. He said, turn around. He goes, I did one of those things where I tried to pull my butt in and stick my stomach out. I'm like, what? He says, now you know what? And he just starts whooping me until my little brother started crying. He said, when my little brother started crying, then he stopped. He said, my dad wasn't one of those dads that was like, I favored this son over this son. He goes, he beat us both equally. I got to say, and Andrew said the same thing. He said he would beat us both. And if one of us said something, we'd both get our butt whooped. He said, I'm going to whoop you. He goes, when that scar heals. He said, I promise you're going to pay for what you did. You threw that stupid thing, and you're going to get it, you know. So he goes, about 2 weeks later, we go fishing with my grandpa. My grandpa's like, come on, boys. And my dad just goes and grabs Andrew and says, no, you're not going to go anywhere. You're not going anywhere. You didn't get the spanking that he did. So you know what? You're going to help me in the back. We're going to work. And as I come back, my little brother's sweating. Gloves. He's got these sticks. He said, and it was weird. He goes, my little brother tells me, he says, you know, I went inside because I was feeling kind of dizzy. He tells him, my dad didn't care. He don't care about dizzy. He don't give a damn. What is that? My dad was the same way. He don't care. What? You feel what? You have asthma now? What do you have? What is that? I don't give a damn.
Better walk it off.
What did the doctor say? Your doctor said you had allergies. You're allergic. You're going to be allergic to his ass whooping. What's going to happen? My dad didn't care. My mom was the same way. She'd be like, that I know. Like, preach it. You know, they don't care. That's how a lot of these boomers, and they didn't care. They were merciless. Gen X, you get beat up and neglected. Go outside and run around and get lost. You be on a milk carton, and we don't care. We'll make another kid, a kid that behaves and listens. That's an actual speech from my mom one time. So anyway, he said, oh, those kids, that's horrible. That's horrible. Those people, they talk like that to their children. They all did that. I'd be walking through the Walmart and I hear people telling their kids that. You want to live? Look, you won't be able to afford a house. I will, because I'm a boomer. Not you. No. By this time tomorrow, you'll all be dead. Oh, that's the 300. Anyway, you see what I'm saying, right? My arm, it's not yours anymore. It belongs to the boomers now. This is what happens. Okay. So he tells it. He said, my brother says, I go inside, I sit down on the edge of the bed. He goes, and I look up and I look in the mirror and I see this. I thought I was just, having like a heat stroke or something. I tell my brother, I'm like, it's early March, bro. You're not having no heat stroke. All right. He goes, well, I felt so hot. He's my little brother. He's stupid. He's like 9 years old. He goes, I'm like, you're not having a heat stroke, Andy. He's like, well, I don't know. I felt like I was going to pass out. He said, I'm thinking, this kid, he's just over dramatic. He's always been like that, right? He goes, I see something in the mirror. He goes, I'm starting to walk out of the room. Chet, I saw something in the mirror. It looked like a monster. He said, I stopped right in the doorway. I turned around. I thought he was just messing with me because me and Grandpa got to go fishing, and he didn't. I said, you got my attention. I didn't say it like that. He says, you got me. What happened? He says, there was this thing. Mom bought a new mirror because you broke the other mirror. He said, I know I broke the other mirror. What? He says, there was this thing in the mirror. It had horns. He's like, and my little brother has always been a good artist. He goes, he sits down. He said, my brother just takes this, chalk he's got. He starts drawing it. He had this black chalk. He was a real good artist since he was a kid. He went to art school and everything. Didn't do nothing with it, but he said he draws this picture, and it's a 9-year-old's picture, but it's good for a 9-year-old. He goes, I had that picture for years, and I take it out and look at it. He goes, you know what it was? Here's what he told me. He said, the next night after this had happened, and I didn't remember my dream, and I woke up, I went to school, I could not remember my dream. He's like, that day with the tetherball, that was a Sunday. He goes, I woke up, it was Monday, I was at school, I was at a new school, I know these kids. I couldn't get it out of my head. I was like, all day, I was like, I had a dream, I can't remember what it was. He goes, I had to go to the restroom, and I was scared. He goes, I'm not a scaredy cat, dude. He goes, I was scared to go to the restroom. I thought there was something in the restroom with me, watching me, trying to follow me around. He goes, I went out on the playground. I don't know any of these kids. I'm just sitting there, I felt like there was something there with me. Something by the tree line moving around like a shadow. Everywhere I looked. I was on the bus. I thought something was behind me. I turned around, there was just a goofy kid behind me, He said, it went on and on. He goes, and I kept racking my brain. He goes, and when my brother started talking to me, he showed me that picture. I said, oh my gosh. He said, I had a dream. He goes, I told my brother this. I said, I had a dream. He's like, Andy, when I went on that field trip, when Dad was at Ramstein, he's like, you remember, I told you, there were these people in these costumes. He said, it was crazy. He said, it was very vivid. He's like, I was walking, and I remember looking up, and I made eye contact with one of them. He just kind of looked at me sideways. He had green eyes. Green eyes. He goes, I looked up at this thing. He goes, and I saw its teeth. He goes, and its eyes were kind of like this. And then they opened up real wide. And he just kind of caught my attention. Then he looked straight ahead and kept walking. That one. They all looked different. Some of them had red eyes, orange eyes, yellow eyes. This one had green eyes. He's like, and I remember looking at this thing. He goes, I saw it. He goes, I saw it, Andy. He goes, that's what I dreamed about. That's what was in the mirror. His little brother's crying, and he's like, Chet, I saw it. It was the same thing. And he's like, but I didn't get a look at the eyes. I just saw the head. He said it was like the devil. That's what it looked like. These spiral horns, this weird creature. Looked like Krampus. And he said that it was terrifying, dude. He goes, and I thought, did we do something? Did something happen? He said he went to his mom that night, both of them, him and his brother. He said, Mom, we got to tell you something. He's like, I tried to tell you the day that that Dad gave me this epic ass whooping. Like, that's basically. He didn't say it's my words. He said, I tried to tell you. You didn't listen. But I want to tell you, Mom. He said, my mom was more reasonable of the two, right? She would stop. She wouldn't take it to the hilt. My dad, he goes, he's liable to kill us, always under stress, always angry. Just let me drink my beer. Let me alone. You know, that kind of guy. And he said, this thing was in the mirror. When I was swinging it and I threw that club, she's like, where is the club? He says, I don't know. I put it in the closet to hide it from you. He's like, and now it's gone. And she goes, really? That's interesting. She goes, because I found it in the backyard. He goes, my mother was like that. She let me talk. Knowing the answer. She's one of those, moms. Yeah, Oh, really? Because I got it. Right? She says, yeah, I found it. It was in the laundry room. He looks at his little brother and he said, did you? And his brother's like, no, I didn't touch it. I didn't have it. He's like, and for once, I knew this little punk wasn't lying. I looked at my brother and I was like, in the laundry room? Because I had it in my closet. I take it out and play with it when y'all were gone. And then a few days ago, it disappeared. She's like, yeah, it was in the laundry room. Little brother didn't know he had it. He goes, I don't even think he knew I had it. And he goes, and I'm looking around. I'm thinking, what in the heck is going on? He's like, Mom. She's like, yeah. She's like, yeah. And you remember, she's like, I put it up the top of my closet and you were get this is weird. She goes, you were standing there in the doorway and you were just standing there like a zombie. She's like, I turned around, you were holding some chocolate milk and you said you were drinking it and you were spilling it everywhere. You remember? And I told you, don't touch this thing again. Didn't I tell you that? She's like, didn't I tell you that? And he's like, no, you didn't. And he's like, that didn't happen. That never happened. And she grabs me. She starts shaking me. She's like, you little liar. You better stop it because I'm not playing with you. She's like, you remember? And you kept spilling the chocolate milk and I smacked you. You got to remember, boomers were very abusive to us. He said, I smacked you. You remember that? I told you to go pour it out. You walked off and acted like you weren't going to. I grabbed you, took you to the bathroom, poured the chocolate milk out. I slapped you. You remember that? He says, no, I don't. She's like, and I told you, don't touch that thing again. And when I asked you where you got it from, what did you tell me? He's like, at this point, he goes, Wolf, I'm clueless. I don't know what this crazy woman's talking about. He says, Mom, I don't remember any of that. She says, you told me that you got it from a monster. And he was like, what monster? I don't know what you're talking about. He goes, and then for a second there, she kind of started doubting herself and she was kind of looking around going like, oh, this kid is something wrong with this kid. Maybe he, then she snapped back to and started to be evil again, be mean, get on to me, yelling and screaming. My little brother's over there. He goes, my little brother was always, Andy claims this isn't true but Ched said it was. And I told Andy, I didn't mean to start anything, but I said, Andy, your brother said you were kind of a sissy. And Andy goes, he would say that, but I can beat him up now. Yeah, I mean, you're like 40. You probably, it doesn't matter now. Or did what you did, right? He's like, no, I'm just saying. I took MMA. I could elbow draw. I said, I think you should make sure you go see if y'all can still do that. I don't know if I believe it. I don't know if I believe it. You're 39. He's 41. Things could change. He goes, I'll be right back. He goes over there and beats him up. Yeah, and then his brother calls me, and he's like, I just got assaulted by Andy. What is wrong with you, man? I said, that didn't happen. I'm kidding. That did not happen. No, I did say that, though. I was joking around, but I said, your brother says he can beat you up. He can't beat me up. He can't beat me up since I was 17. I beat him up. I 17 years old. I choked him. I beat him up. I told Ched just, yeah, he was on drugs. I don't care. What are you going to do with a kid on drugs? And he's over there, I wasn't on drugs. I smoked a little pot. He's like, okay, well, anyway, he was on drugs. He had superhuman strength on pot. I don't know what happened. They were kind of funny guys. They were funny. Both mechanics. And so anyway, I talked to him. I said, dude, you're strong guys, whatever. Your parents beat you and made you stronger. That's always good, I guess, maybe. I see he's be 42 going on 43 now. He was 41 when we talked. Here's the thing. Their story has never changed because when I talked to them again a few weeks ago, it was the same thing. Nothing changed. couple little minor things that they remembered. That was about it. But he said, he goes, this weird thing was happening. My mother kept claiming that she was talking to me and my brother. It happened to my brother. He said he was out there working on his bike, which is something he goes, I know he couldn't do that. He was not mechanically inclined until I taught him how to do stuff. And he said that's not true. But he goes, I never was working on my bike. I don't know what she was talking about. He goes, you're out there working on your bike. And you told me to shut up. And Andy's like, what? I never said that. She's like, yeah, you got a spanking too. And he was like, I think I would remember getting spanked. He goes, and she's like, yeah. She's like, and then you in your room playing video games like nothing happened. And he's like, because nothing did. I don't know who you spanked, but it wasn't me. She said that at that time that they were laughing at her. And the mother's deceased now, but he said that she was, that they were laughing at her. And for years, she would be like, you remember when we were living in the house in San Antonio and y'all were laughing at me when I would spank you? And they were like, Mom, that wasn't us. We don't know what, they do not remember this. But what they do remember was there being a creature in that house, in the backyard. This went on for months, and then it would kind of chill out and nothing would happen. And then they would catch glimpses of something large, hairy, shadowy, moving around in the house. Sometimes they'd see something. Their friends would come over and they'd be like, dude, what the hell was that? They were playing video games. And this actually gives me the chills here. They're playing video games. And one of their friends, his name was Omar, the little black kid. He's over there to have fun and play games and whatever. He's not there to see creatures, He gets up, goes to grab something out of the fridge. He screams. He runs back, says, I'm going home. And he goes out the door, like unbelievable speed. The kid was gone. You know what I'm talking about, right? The kid runs real fast, wears a purple shirt, wears his hat backwards. You know what I'm talking about, right? No, we don't, Bill. No, we don't. No, he just ran out the door, and then he called when he got home a few blocks down. He says, hey, man, sorry, but when we were sitting there, I saw something walk by the door that looked like the devil. And I'm not staying the night. Sorry. The other friend, this kid, Jonathan, he said, I remember we both had a friend over. He said, we were having this little sleepover, whatever. He goes, we go in there, we're eating pizza rolls and we're talking and we're thinking, man, Omar's weird, huh? He goes, Jonathan's just sitting there with like food hanging out of his mouth, like looking down the hallway. And he's like, guys. And then it was like he was going to faint. We look back, we don't see anything. My parents aren't there. That's typical boomer stuff. Parents aren't there. He's like, I don't know, my parents are at the movies or something, I'm like, are you okay? He's like, I think I need to go home. They looked down, his kid peed his pants. He said, this was crazy, dude. You have friends come over and the devil shows up. And Andy kind of joking with me, but he's being serious. He said, and then his mother comes over and she's like yelling at my mom. And my mom's not the one that's going to take that. She's like, I don't know what happened over there. Why my son peed himself. And what did your sons do to make him whatever? And the kid wouldn't talk. The kid was just like catatonic or something, A few hours later, he tells his mother what he saw. Down at the end of the hallway by his parents' room was this creature with black horns and this weird black face that looked like the devil, holding a piece of wood in his hand. That's all the kid knew. When they were at school, they're still friends with this kid. He's Chet's friend. He says, Jonathan, what did this piece of wood look like? He said it had like spikes on it, little metal nodules. He said, oh my gosh. He tells his mom. And his mom is like, okay, we're going to get rid of this thing. She goes to the closet to grab it. It's gone. Then World War III erupts, and she's accusing everybody in the house of having moved this. Even her husband, who was getting pissed off, and they had a big old fight about it. Then they find this piece of club wood, whatever, out in the back, sticking through the chain link in between their house and another house, the chain link fence. The neighbor's dog The day that they found that, the neighbor's dog was found dead. What the hell is going on? Weird. The neighbors come over, the ones that live behind them, and then on the next street over, and they're like, do you have any idea what this could be? He said, at this point, my dad was starting to think, hey, man, this is weird. I think I have an idea what could be going on. His dad was like, maybe there's his own words, some ghost shit going on. Ghost shit. That's it. That's
one way to put it.
Yeah. Because Boomer Dad, they get to the bottom of things.
Yeah.
There's some ghost shit going on.
Somebody that ghost gobbledygook.
Yeah. Y'all went over there and grabbed something from some kind of cemetery or something. When you're riding your bikes, you grabbed that piece of wood. That's what you did. Or my dad bought it for you, and he shouldn't have done it. And his dad, he goes, my dad almost got into it. In the garage. He said, Dad, did you buy that for them? Did you buy that piece of wood? What is this? Some kind of cursed something? And he goes, oh, yeah. I went over to the store and I said, give me a cursed piece of wood that will kill people's dogs.
$5.99.
Is that the cursed wood store?
Yeah. He goes, my dad lived up in Austin. He lived up here somewhere, He said, my grandpa lived in Austin. He said, well, you know what? I'm not coming back here. When you're ready to let me see the grandkids, you bring them to Austin. Summertime comes. My dad and my mom were like, free babysitter. My grandpa was a babysitter. My grandmother had passed away when I was real young. He said, my grandfather had a girlfriend that was like 20 years younger than him. He's like, we were running around South Austin being bad kids. He said, my grandfather introduced me to a witch. I'm like, yeah. He's like, who is this? Right? He's like, this is my girlfriend. She can read palms. She can tell the future. She can do all these things. He's like, we were scared of her. She was very pretty, but we were scared of her. He's like, and she had a big old nose too. And he said that she sat there one day and she was very pretty, like you said, but she was, weird, kind of a Middle Eastern looking woman. He goes, to this day, I don't know where she was from. She was from some foreign country, but she says, let me read your future. Because it takes my hand, goes over my hand, and her eyes get big. And she looks at, this is Andy telling me. It tells Andy, she's like, you have something following you. So she stands up, says that her head is, like she's got a pain in her head. She gets Chet's hand, does the same thing. She's like, something is really wrong. She goes in the bedroom with their grandfather. He said, my grandfather was like, he looked young for his age. And he was lying to this woman about how old he was. And he said, my grandfather was just that way. He was driving around a sports car. The whole time he goes, he was alive. It was like one big midlife crisis, whatever. They kept on going. He said, my grandfather comes out and says, kids, I'm going to take you back to San Antonio. We got to talk to somebody. And they're like, oh, we don't want to go back home. We want to stay here with you. We want to stay here. And he goes, yeah, that's cool. We need to talk. He says, so that night we convinced my grandfather not to take us back to San Antonio. We didn't want to go. So my grandfather says, well, you know what? I need to have a talk with your parents. He goes, he goes in the bedroom, grabs the phone, and you could hear him talking. And you could hear most of what he was saying. Because we couldn't hear what our parents were saying, but we could hear my grandpa. And my mom was talking to him at one point, and he was telling them. He said, well, what do we do? And he goes, okay, well, she's right here. Gives this woman the phone. The woman starts talking to them. She says to them straight up, she's like, there is an evil spirit. This is what she said. She said, it is an ancient spirit of the woods, and it does not belong here. She said, it belongs in Europe. And she's like, where were y'all at? And she says, oh my gosh. She said, you're going to have a lot of problems come December. She said, I'm not playing. This is not a joke. Parents did not know anything about this. They did not even know what the kids knew because the kids were told these stories and the parents, they're working. They don't give a crap. They're not going to these German festivals and listening to these people talk about this crazy shit. Okay, remember, these are boomer parents. All they do is work. They don't care. They don't have time for this, right? They're busy buying houses for $50. right?
Yeah.
Like, what's wrong with you? I bought 3 houses for $150. Why can't you buy a house? You lazy bum, you?
All I did was work 40 hours a week back in 1972.
Me and Marion worked our butts off 40 hours a week. And
They had benefits and paid time
pool
off.
parties on the weekends and LSD on Saturdays. And you can't buy it. What is wrong with you?
Back in my day, I used to have to chew gum to buy houses.
I'm joking. Boomers, I'm messing with you. I'm joking. My dad's a boomer, obviously. And my best friend, my business partner, he's a boomer. I'm messing around, dude, bro. I'm just kidding. This is all in fun. But seriously, this is a true story. But let me tell you something. At least that's what they said it was. Here's what I was told. He said, this woman basically was saying that there was something that had followed us from Germany. And it didn't belong here. Why was it here? I don't know. Maybe because some stupid counselors, hippy-dippy goofballs, which he did tell me they were from San Francisco. So that's probably why they're like, come on, kids. We're on acid. Let's go out into the woods, see if we can find Krampus or some werewolves. Maybe a vampire or two, or maybe the Loch Ness Monster will come and grab you. Either way, we don't care. We're just going to paint some happy little trees.
They're free spirits.
They're free spirits. And we're in Winnebago, right? We're going to go, come on, kids. Let's go out to the woods, right? We're going to wear these weird coaches shorts and make everybody uncomfortable, right? Yeah, right. Okay. So anyways, these people take them out into the woods and they run into whatever this is. Who knows what that was, right? But we know. When he goes, we go back home. It was time to go back to school. Month goes by, nothing happens, and then October comes. And in October, he goes, it was like somebody flipped a switch and all kinds of weird crap started happening. We had electrical problems in the house. We had a fire. Somebody left the toaster on and somebody's ego got burned and it did who knows what. All kinds of crap happened. He's like, it was crazy what was going on. This is what's crazy. Their dog, this is what he told me. Our dog caught fire.
What?
Dude,
What?
the dog's hair caught on fire. Their mother's poodle. It didn't hurt the dog, didn't kill it, but the dog came into the bedroom and the mother saw the dog's on fire. She was ready to kill one of her kids for this dog. He's like, fortunately for us, guess where we were at? School. Mom just kind of jumped up thinking instinctively, oh, these boys, because we were bad. We did things. We did bad
of course.
things. He's like, but we didn't light this dog on fire. And my mother, we come home and my mother's just like, I had to take the dog to the vet. And we're like, why? She's like, she was on fire. Like her fur caught fire and she had a little bit burned. Mom grabbed the dog and threw it into the tub. Turned the water on and it was fine. The dog was yelping and freaking out. What the hell just happened? There were 3 fires. One from the toaster, one from an electrical outlet that almost burned the house down, and then the dog. Something was wrong. Something was really wrong. He goes, my grandfather shows up with this witch lady. That's what they called her. She's walking around the house. He goes, and my dad is over there like looking at her. Yeah. He goes, my dad takes us for a drive. He's like, while this witch lady is in the house, I'm not going to be in there. She's just this black magic bullshit, whatever. Let your mom, she's half Albanian. She'll get along with her, whatever. Their dad's driving them. He said, we're driving. My dad teased us with SeaWorld all the time. Never took us. He said, there's SeaWorld, kids. We're never going there. Then he tells them, he's talking to him. He says, yeah, that'll never catch on. He says to this woman, other than having a great body, what do you know about her? And they're just like, well, she can see the future. She reads our palms. She plays with these cards. He's like, what? We're Christians. They need to burn her at the stake. What is wrong with her? He's like, he turns his truck around, his little S10. He's like going he's like going crazy. He's going to go up and give her a piece of his mind. He's like, not only that, but she's like my age. She shouldn't be dating my dad. Should be with me. This is crazy.
That's the worst part of it all.
That's the worst part ever. When I married your mom, I settled for you guys came on. You know, that's kind of how that's my words, but they did tell me some funny stuff. But he pulls in the driveway. He goes, he didn't even put it in park. The thing's like rolling backwards. It's a stick shift. He's like, I jump in there and I'm like stopping it. You know, this is what Chet told me. He runs inside. And he's like, look, lady, you're not going to do none of this black magic, witchcraft, whatever, blah, blah, blah. He goes, this is my dad talking after a couple of beers, right? This lady turns around and she's like, you don't understand. You have something in your house that's attached to your kids, in particular your oldest one. She's like, and it came through a mirror because he broke it. Then he goes, all of a sudden, my dad has amnesia. He has no idea how any of this happened because the woman's looking at him very judgingly and is like, what were you doing, as a parent? And he goes, and my grandpa's back there like, yeah, what were you doing as a parent when I backed up your childhood? Let's talk about you now. You're a bad kid. I was in World War II. Don't look at me. He's like, my dad's over there like, well, what mirror? There was a mirror break. What was in the mirror? Like he tried to act like he didn't know what the hell was going on. I'm sitting over there going like, yeah, bull crap.
See, what happened was
he's like, I can tell you. And he's like, my dad's over there like grabbing my face. Shut up, kid. You don't know what the. Let me tell you something, lady. I work my butt off 40 hours a week. That was more than that, but still, you have no right to come into my house with your weird black magic crap and your witchy crap. Stevie Nicks, what are you doing in my house? Stevie Nicks fajita roundup. Get out of here. He says, my dad was so lit, his face was red, more redder than it usually was. It was always red. He said, my dad's face was red. He's not finishing sentences. I know my dad used to do that. And then I would finish the sentence and he'd be like, shut up. I don't need your help with the words. You play Scrabble. Spelling and all that stuff. Look, he says, look, this is crazy. Get out of my house. Get the hell out of here. Don't worry about what mirrors were broke or whatever happened in my house. Dad, you should be ashamed of yourself running around with this woman. She's half your age. His dad's like, she's only 19 years younger than me. Love is love. They run out, I'm out there hugging my grandpa. My grandpa's like, your dad's crazy. Your dad's crazy. Oh, they don't, My dad comes out. He's like, you built a treehouse and you left me up in it with no rope. There were no steps. I was there for a week waiting for you to come back. That's his story. He says, and the grandpa's like, you deserved it. You're a no good dad and blah, blah, blah. They argue back and forth. And he's like, I'm going to go, goodbye, kind of things that happens in families. Right. And then this woman calls and the mother, just like he said, they became friends and they started talking. She's from Eastern Europe somewhere, probably from Dracula's castle. I don't know. And then the mom is like, she's like, yeah, my mom's Albanian, blah, 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 it's whatever. And so she's good friends with this woman. And then she starts doing weird stuff like burning sage and throwing holy water everywhere. And just, we're going to get rid of this. He goes, next thing you know, it's Thanksgiving. My grandfather comes with the witchy woman. And everybody's all tense. And my dad's over there just like looking down, robotically eating, gets up and walks out, My uncle is there with his crazy wife. He's like, everybody's acting weird. His crazy wife claims that she can see spirits. There's something in the house. Everybody's freaking out. He's like, and this went on and on. He goes, but then December came. He's like, and I go inside the garage and I'm digging through the boxes for these Christmas lights. My dad's like, we're going to do Christmas big this year. We're going to, because he had a few beers at that point. He said, we're going to do Christmas big this year. This year is going to be better than it's ever been. We're going to have fun, kids. He's like, okay, so we're digging through and we find this club with the weird, metallic brass looking thing, whatever, on the wood. He's like, and I tell my dad, I said, Dad, look, there it is. My dad walks over there and he looks at it. He picks it up, starts playing with it. He said, I go around the corner to get my brother. He said, where's your brother? Why is he not helping? I got to find my brother. My brother's always off, goofing off, doing something stupid he's not supposed to be doing. I go look for him. I come back and my dad is over there like, big mark on his head. He's like, and he's holding his head. He's like this. He's holding his head. He goes, and I'm like, Dad, what happened? He's like, no, nothing. I want nothing. Did you hurt yourself? No, I don't hurt. I never have been hurt. What? Never, ever. Not even ever.
Nope, I never did.
Why would you say that? Because your head looks like it's more red than usual.
I'm in my prime.
Yeah, you look it. He's like over there with this big red mark on his head. And he goes, I look down and this club is just like rolling by itself. Not going down because our driveway is sloped. He says, no, it's kind of going like in a circle. He's like, and my dad goes over to it and tries to kick it, and his foot goes over the top of it and he falls backwards. He's like, and then I go and I pick the club up because I wanted it. I wanted to play with it. And I said, Dad, I'm going to throw this away. I walk over to the trash. I open the trash. I close the trash. And then I walk through the garage door into the house. And I run and stick it under my bed in a box. At that point, I said, Chet, why would you do that? He goes, I don't know. I wanted it. I said, what was the date? He goes, I don't remember. It was like 2 weeks before Christmas. I said, oh, yeah. He said, at that point, he goes, I knew that I had messed up. Like, I knew that that was not correct to do. But he goes, you know, I wanted to mess with this thing. I wanted to play with it. I wanted to hold it. I wanted to beat somebody with it. And as hard as it is to think that this could really be, we have talked about haunted objects on this show. We have talked about people having haunted thing. We had a guy on the show one time, or in the early days of the show, his parents owned an antique store. These objects, sometimes they just call out to people. I don't know if you guys recall years ago, we did a show about these two women from Louisiana, and one of them had a mirror and a comb. This is weird stuff, man. You start to deal with these people, and they're like, the guy with the mirror with Garetano out there.
Oh, yeah.
And I
The
talked to
ugly
Chris,
mirror.
and Chris was like, why on God's earth would you want that? Why would you want that? And in that same area where that happened, we heard the wood knocks. We had a security guard and a pest control guy see what they thought was literally a werewolf from across the lake and change into a man. We had people at the condos right there claim that a woman was grabbed by her hair and drugged in front of 8 different people at a party while they were playing with a Ouija board. Another group of people claimed to, while they were on the boat, see a UFO silently hovering over the lake, all in this one little area. And so would it be so weird that some guy wanted an ugly, spray painted looking black mirror? I don't know what the hell you would want that shit for. And then he's like, oh, you take it, Chris. Chris is like, no, thank you. Of course you don't want that. But he did. So Chet, he's just a kid. And he's drawn in by this thing. He said it was 2 weeks before Christmas. I'm thinking, how many days is 2 weeks before Christmas? What is that? 14 days, right? So 25 minus 14, that's December 11th. That's Krampus Eve, isn't it? Is that correct? Make sure I'm right.
December 12th is
right?
Krampus
Just
Day,
to make sure,
yeah.
folks, do your own research. But in Germany, it would have already been the 12th. Because they're ahead of us, time-wise. This is in the evening. This is what's weird about this story. He says that night, he goes, something came into my room and literally punched me in my face, kicked me in my ribs, and threw me into a wall. Reached underneath my bed and pulled that club out. And I said, what did you do? He goes, I began to pray. He goes, I wasn't a bad person. I wasn't a bad kid. I knew I wasn't. And I knew this story, that if this was what I thought it was, or who I thought it was, that I had to pray because I was not going to let this thing take me to hell or do something to me. Namely, unaliving me, in my words, unaliving me, and then taking my soul wherever the hell this thing does what it does. He says, I realized that those things I saw in the woods that day with those hippy dippy people, those were not actors. Those were demons. Those were spirits. Those were the spirits. He goes, and now he goes, I've done research, and he goes, let me tell you something. This is his view. His is his opinion, not mine. But he believes that these things are real, and that when children, sometimes something happens to children, that it could be these creatures doing these things. He goes, I don't think they're good at all. I think they're opportunistic. He's like, and he believes that the people that control this world are evil. And they use these demons, these evil spirits, to do things to children's souls. You don't behave, whatever. Really, all that is a cautionary tale. It is a spiritual opening. And because the people that run this world have worshipped these entities for thousands of years, giving them power, I don't think Krampus is necessarily a free-willed being. I think that it is given a mission, a job, and that is to collect souls. That's why it's such a prevalent thing in Northern and Central Europe. There are people who, when they were children, they lived in fear of this thing. And lots of people claim that they saw it. Now, could it have been a tulpa or egregore, I guess you would say, something that was created by a collective consciousness? Who knows? But I know this. This guy was terrified. And this thing, he says, I don't think it was trying to just terrorize me. He said, I woke up, he goes, I had 2 broken ribs and a broken nose, and I had to go to the hospital. My mother took me to the hospital, and they told me that I had a nightmare, and I fell out of my bed. He said, this thing made its way down the hall and went toward my little brother's room, and I screamed at the top of my lungs, and I ran with 2 broken ribs, and I banged on my parents' door, and they came out, and this thing went into my little brother's room. He began to scream. He saw it too. He goes, and for years, my parents, they just played off like nothing had happened. We don't want to talk about it. Don't talk about it. My mother said, don't talk about it. You'll bring it back. He's like, I asked Christ to remove this thing from my house. And that was it. It never came back. It never did anything again. I had other things that happened. But he goes, but that thing was gone. I never saw that piece of wood again. He's like, I never saw this being again, but I had nightmares. One of the nightmares he talked about, he said it was very prevalent. He goes, I was walking through those woods in Germany, and I would come upon this creature with goat feet. And I asked him, I said, did this creature that you saw, did it have goat legs? He said goat-like legs, but the feet were like feet, but claws. He said it didn't have goat hooves. It didn't look like it had hooves. He said, but this thing was like a goat-headed creature, kind of like a satyr, but with big horns. Looked a little different than what I saw, you know. He's like, I honestly believe there's a species. There's more of one of them. He said, and I'm walking along, and this thing stops and starts talking to me in German, and I speak perfect German all of a sudden, and I start talking back to it. And it tells me, it says, have you been good? Or have you been evil? And it smiles real big with these nasty teeth, with these big, sharp teeth. And I look at this creature, and I said, I've been good. And I walk off. And this creature always says, little boy, say your prayers. And he goes, I know what that means. Because the day I don't, he's going to be waiting. He's like, nothing ever brought me closer to Christ than that being. Not a good thing. It's not a good guy, but it did its job, and it scared the crap out of me. And he said, if you want me to tell you, Mr. Turner, he says, do I believe that Krampus is real? He says 100%. Now, what it is, I'm not sure, but I think it's a soul collector. I told him this. I thought about this subject before when we had more of these stories years ago, and they were not as specific. I think they were more like goat, man, whatever. But I told him this. I said, what if these beings that it typically goes after what if those are these people who are born beyond redemption and they do whatever, to come back, and they're not fulfilling whatever it is that they're supposed to be fulfilling, and then he just goes and snatches them up? Because I know this, God is not going to allow something to happen to innocent people unless God is taking them himself. So he's not going to allow this thing to take you to hell unless that's where you belong. How would a child fit into that? Now, only if maybe this thing is not a real person. It's like an NPC. What takes the form of a child, born beyond redemption, a person. And you've met children that are just mean as hell.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes they'll pan out, and then sometimes they just become serial killers and they end up in prison. Because remember, at one time, Ted Bundy, John Wayne Gacy, Jeffrey Dahmer, all of these people, Arthur Shawcross, they were all children at one time. And by their peers' own words, they were mean little bastards who had no empathy at all when they were children. Nothing changed when they got older. According to the traditions of our ancestors, this creature would come and take those bad children, the ones that were really bad. Who knows? Because there is a balance. But if you are not evil, I promise you, the Holy Father is not going to allow some demigod, demon, whatever you want to call it, fallen angel, whatever, take you somewhere that you're not supposed to be. And all it takes is Christ. You call out to Christ. And you really mean it. But remember, close those openings and keep them closed. And that's a warning for everybody, man, woman, child, everything. What I believe really is irrelevant. I've never seen this creature. And I don't know anybody in my day-to-day life who has, other than these people who talk to me. So I don't know one way or the other. But knowing what I know about this type of deity, entity, demon, creature, whatever you want to call these things, they perform a function. If you looked at this in the way of this is a simulation, this is a matrix, this guy is a programmed to do whatever it is it's going to do. Very robotic, very whatever, malevolent and nasty. If you listen to the song that Nelly wrote about Krampus, it says, he's saying, I wouldn't save you even if I could. What that means is he's not going to stop what he's doing because, A, he's got to do it, but he enjoys it. He's performing a function that he enjoys. And he's not going to save you even if he could. He can't because he's got to do what he's got to do. But he's an evil being.
Just to kind of go off what you just said, how, the kids in the story, they were doing things they wouldn't normally do. So yeah, obviously, like you said, even though this entity we call Krampus is just doing what he does, like he can't help it, he enjoys it. And the fact of the matter is that these kids were doing things that they normally wouldn't do because of this entity that was attached to that club or whatever. So it's like, yeah, I can't help it. This is just what I do. But it's like he wants you to, and it was driving them to do like all these horrible things that they couldn't even remember. So they really didn't have any control over it. And by coming into contact with that club, they unknowingly came into agreement with this thing, and it was able to make them do the things that would give him the opening to like, oh, well, you were bad. So even though really it was because of this entity, if that makes sense. So it's like they want you to slip up.
Yeah, one of the things I think too, if more people would understand that there is past lives, there is a ton of, you don't have to believe it if you don't want to, and if you don't, I'm not going to force it on you. I'm never going to do that, and I'm not going to fight with you if you don't agree with me or think like I do or believe like I do. But I believe in that, and I honestly believe that people come back with past sin, and you think that there isn't a balance. There is. And this dude is probably there to tempt you, even as a child, to do whatever bad it is. And if you have not straightened out and you go onto that and do it again or whatever it is, and you have that amnesia. You don't even know what you did in the past, but you're still the same person. You haven't changed. And in the Old Testament, of course, it says it many times. God is fair. He's always punishing, right? And the New Testament, not so much. He's not really punishing. He's not really. But here's one thing you hear: God is smithing us like silver. He's purifying you. The reason that is because you can't go back to the purity of the Father unless you go through his son Christ. Christ being the mediator, because he is of the flesh, but also of the spirit. God is totally holy and of the spirit. He's not tainted by the flesh. Christ took that and did it for us, right? And God is smithing us to purify us so that you're not 995, 999, you're pure. And then you can go and return back to God, because we are essentially, in my opinion, just little fractals of God. And we have our own little experiences and whatever. Parts of us come and have these experiences like a zip drive and go back to the main computer. And then you go back to the main computer eventually. However you want to look at it, whatever analogy you want to use, that's my opinion. And of course, people, they are going to argue and they're going to say, you're an apostate, you're a heretic. I tell you this, why don't you go and find people that will tell you what they've told me and us here at this table? Then you judge and you say what you think, and you pass judgment on these people. I'm not going to do that. I have no more power to judge them than you do. Krampus tempted these kids, in my opinion, or whatever you want to call this thing, and they passed the test. Angry as he was able to inflict some pain on them, but he wasn't able to take them. Does it make sense?
Mm-hmm.
That's my opinion. You know, opinions are a dime a dozen. Things happen, things are done. But that's it for me for tonight. Merry Christmas to all, and to all a good night. Seriously, no, it was that to me. You know, when I was listening to these guys, I think I wrapped it up and put a bow on it for them. I don't know. Maybe I did. Maybe I didn't. But my job, just like Krampus has his own job, evil bastard that he is, and I enjoy my job. And that is to put these things into perspective, to bring it together and tell you the story, but also give my perspective on it. And you can agree or disagree. That's the wonderful thing about this PRT. You're here on a Christmas night. Hopefully everybody had a nice Christmas dinner. We didn't. We went around. We asked our neighbors for food. I really did. I'm not joking. Am I joking?
No, he's not, folks. He's being absolutely serious.
You did so jokingly.
Yes.
But you did it.
These
And they were like laughing.
Stupid Gen Zers, 20-year-old kids or whatever out there playing around. Hey, man, you know, they don't even know we have a show or anything. I don't tell them we're weird like that. I'm like, please, can you give us some Christmas dinner? We have nothing. We have eaten nothing. All we have in there is brisket and I don't know, some other sausages and some other types of chicken. So we need food.
We're starving, is the point.
Look at this. You don't get like that by just eating up everything.
If we have to cook it or reheat it, then obviously we don't have food.
We don't.
It doesn't
We
count.
need a waitress or waiter to bring it to us. Go cook it back there. That's what I want. I need that.
Or a drive-through would suffice. If we must.
The one kid, he was like, are y'all hungry for real? I was like, we're joking, dude. So I'm joking. We're going to go eat dinner. Merry Christmas. And they're like, oh, Merry Christmas. Kidding, joking. No, but seriously, there are people out there who don't have. They suffer. They really don't have what we have. And I appreciate everybody being here tonight. So we got some hoodies to give away. Tony's already done his. What was that? But Maddie, you go ahead. Your turn.
All right. Who hasn't won and who wants to win a hoodie?
Randy says food comas. I didn't have one tonight. Thanksgiving, yeah, that's a whole nother ball of wax. Not tonight. Who has not won? Tell us you have not won.
All right, I'm gonna go with Hooking Good Creations by Tina C. Looks like she won.
Tina, you got to get your name in green so you can make it to the live on Saturday.
Yes, you don't want to miss that. But for right now, you've won a hoodie. So congratulations, Tina C.
Okay, shut up, Maddie. Go ahead, Anthony. You're next. Mr. Golf Cart.
Let's see.
John Deere golf cart. You know, those ranch style golf carts.
So are you
The
planning
favorite golfer out
another
there.
15-minute tangent with this? Or
Not
what?
if you just pick somebody and shut up.
Don't
Yeah,
fall for it. Just don't
I don't
fall for it,
believe you.
please.
I'm tempting you like Krampus.
Come, argue.
Okay, Stanfield 2742. I haven't won a hoodie, haven't won and won a hoodie. So Stanfield, I pick you.
I thought Stanfield has one.
Stanfield sounds good. That name sounds familiar.
Yeah,
Has he?
Stanfield be lying. But you know what, though? He hasn't won a hoodie. So technically, he's correct. So Stanfield, you win. We're going to give you one. My pick is going to be Masochist Mouse. Masochist Mouse says, I haven't gotten one yet, but I'll have to wait and buy one, not green. You can get your name in green right now for $5. It's very simple. But Masochist Mouse, you've been around for a long time. Let me show you the banner here, folks. What you do, here it is right here. Down at the bottom there, folks. Your giveaways, you say your name, your address, and your shirt size. You understand? The giveaways, prtpod.com. That's what you do. That's my impression of a Cajun person. Right. You like it. We know you do. Thank you for that donation. Merry Christmas, PRT family. Holly Berry. Thank you. Jamie says $5 that's special for tonight. No, that's the members. You become green, your name is in green, and then you can watch the show on Saturday, and it's like it's good for a month or whatever. So anyways, folks, that is 1, 2, 3, and then 4. I picked Masochist Mouse. So now we all have to come together. Jeez, was that a sneeze or was that banjo farting?
Choose banjo.
Thank you for that donation, Holly. We very appreciate it. So what do we got here?
It's Banjo's choice next, I guess.
Who's next? We got one more person. So Jamie, Val, have you won, Jamie? Because if not, I'll pick you. But it's up to you guys. Us three have to be in agreement. We all have to agree on the last one.
What do you think, Banjo? You'll take my vote.
Is that Banjo?
Yes.
What is he like a yes, eh? Yes.
Yeah, you see?
I'm gonna tie you and put you on the railroad tracks, eh?
Come here, broad.
Banjo. He's so chill, dude. He's just like, whatever, man.
Just goes with the flow.
Yeah. Dude, Anthony will pick him up and do it, play with his arms, move him back, and he'll fall asleep. He'll sit there and just pass out.
He's an awesome dog.
You should see our cats are the same way, though. They are so chill. So Masochist Mouse says, Christmas time, I am broke, but soon I'll get a gift card from Fetch or one of my other apps and buy some subs for the good channels. Some subs.
Thank you, Amy and One Rogue.
You're going to buy subs for the channel? What does that mean? One Rogue status. Thank you so much for that donation. We greatly appreciate it. It says Jamie Vol has not won. Okay, Randy, paying attention there. Jamie, I got you, Jamie. All right, we got you. You says especially love you, Anthony. Maddie be seething now.
Gosh.
Look at Maddie. She's like,
Oh, man.
that's my man. Don't be talking about my man. Folks, as you all know, this is a situation be it two adults or whatever.
Yes, that's why we're going to announce it to the whole
Tomorrow
community.
we're going to do an hour-long or 3-hour-long talk about it.
Yes. 2 years later, we're going to still talk about it.
2.5 years. She says, Anthony is a cool guy. No, he's not. Can I tell you why he's not a cool guy? Because he believes that a Gator is it's not an ATV, not a four-wheeler. It is a golf cart.
He literally cannot be. His metabolism burns like a furnace, so his body is always hot.
That ain't no lie, dude. Sit next to him in a vehicle, you'll be like, why is your body on
Why
fire?
am I sweating?
Hey, show him your shirt, dude. Check this out. Check out Tony's shirt. You button that top button. Tony's shirt is lit, bro, for real. Check it out.
That is a pretty cool shirt.
Look at that. It's the yin yang. Isn't that cool? That is so cool. It is. Let me take this off of there real quick.
Strike a pose.
Okay, all right. We're not. Now you're looking stupid over here. Get out of here. Strike a pose. Now Vogue.
More passion, more energy.
More energy.
Vogue. Let your
Feel it.
body move to the music. You know, I think that's the whole thing, though, too. We're trying to have fun up here. You know, I want the fun to come back.
Yes.
We want the fun. We don't want all that. These people think that we get off on drama or something. No, we do not, because drama hurts our channel. That is not going to help us. So we're gonna stay sucker free up here, right? That's what's going to happen. So thank you to everybody who donated. Congratulations to everybody who won a hoodie tonight. You won a hoodie, and you even can specify if you go back to the episode from.
It's Dogman and Reptilian Encounters.
Dogman and Reptilian Encounters. Let me see if I can find the episode number.
486.
Really? You have it memorized?
Yep. I set them both up.
Oh, okay. Let's see. Go back and listen to last night's show and tell us what you think. I don't know. Dogman Reptilian Encounters, episode 486. And go and look at the beginning of the show. We show you all the different colors of the hoodies. So if you're a winner of the show, or if you're for the future reference or whatever, go back and look at that show. It's a crazy show. It was about a guy named Ozzy from El Paso, which there's a lot of weird people from El Paso. Anyway, I'm kidding. But no, go back and look, and it'll show you all the different colors.
Yep. And if there's a color you like, go ahead and include that in your email.
And we will try to send it to you if we have it while supplies last. We may not have it. If we have it, we have it. We don't. We only got 5 of every size, starting with large. So we got large, medium, we got medium, large,
extra large, 2XL,
3XL, and then I think we got like maybe 2 of the 4XL, and we got that's it. I don't think we got anything else. So that's what we got, folks. We have a few 4X and 5X. You're gonna have to, if you're big like that, you're gonna have to take what you can get. I'm big like that. So I can't wear these hoodies, but you're just gonna have to take what you can get. And we still have some of the other different colors or whatever, but we have limited styles in those sizes. But up to 3X, we have it. So, yeah. So we hope everybody enjoyed it.
Merry Christmas.
Randy, we got you. Don't worry. We'll send you your swag bag. Remember, joining the Patreon is the best move you can make. If you want to help the show, and you want to get something nice, you will get a swag bag after 2 months, depending on your tier, and you will be included in the live stream, Patreon exclusive live streams, not the members only, it's 2 different things. And then you will also be included in the pre-record episodes that we drop for the Patreon exclusively. Patreon helps the show immensely, right? And I'm now in the process of ordering books from 4 different authors so that we can have, the books to give you guys. And so there you go. $10, $20, $30, $40, $50 tier, and you will be involved and included in the Patreon. The members only is a YouTube thing they do. It's $5, and then you can see special episodes. That's what that is. And we are doing one on Saturday. It is a members only live stream.
Be there. Make sure to sign up so you can check it out.
So yes, Jason, do that. He says, I need to check out the swag bag. Yes, absolutely. Check it out, man. I'm glad you guys enjoyed it tonight. We always love coming here and talking to you guys. We are always excited to come and talk. Tony and me have been doing this 6 years now.
Yep.
You've been my co-host. Unfortunately, our old co-host passed away, but Anthony has stepped in and been a fair and decent co-host. He does do dumb things sometimes, and I call him out on it, and then he has to
get so frustrated.
Yeah, you saw the big procession he made earlier.
Yeah.
Right, guys?
Well, the thing is ever since we moved to this new studio and threw away his pool noodle, he hasn't really had the same authority.
Yeah,
he's still holding on to that.
That's what our old buddy Armando used to say. He beat us with the wet noodle.
Yep.
Yeah, but that's okay. And soon Tony will surpass him in size because he has been lifting.
I'm already surpassed him in weight.
Yeah, but you're not as strong.
No, nowhere near.
Yeah, he would take you down right now, but eventually.
I think my natural body weight, I could get up to 200 and still be fine.
Anthony's like, what would he say? No, I would say you were weak when I found you, right? That would be my line. And he would say, impressive, most impressive. But you are not a bitchy ass Jedi yet. Who doesn't know the difference between a gator and a golf cart?
This will now forever be a thing.
Look at Ona. She said, Josh is upset that he is his boss. Hell yeah. Damn right I'm upset. There I was at the hotel, just being a stinky, dirty old homeless man. And then I get a call. They're like, hey, get off the couch. Do your patrol, see? Your boss called. His name is Anthony, see? He's going to fire you. He's been promoted and you've been demoted, see? And I was like, no, this can't be.
You better get your stuff on before we get the coppers on you.
Yeah, that's it, dude. You're right. He had to fire me. I'm a freaking criminal. I admit it. I can't help it. I commit crimes.
You heard it here, folks.
I run red lights and stop signs, and I just, when they have candy at the restaurants when you're walking out, I grab handfuls. I don't just get one. I take them all. I'll take them in my pocket.
I'll do the same on Halloween. Every kid under the age of 7.
I go disguised as a kid, and I'm like, I am a small child, and I take up all the candy. Right? I crawl around on my knees in a sheet like a ghost. And then I stand up and they're like, oh my gosh, and then I become Mike Myers. That's right. All right, guys. Thank you for tuning in. We had a great time. Merry Christmas, everybody.
Merry Christmas.
Anthony's back now. What happened? You okay?
Yeah, I just had to do something for work.
There was a lot of bad noise going on over there. Okay.
Wow. Smooth move.
Smooth move. Here, give it to me. You think I care?
Oh,
See? And then he misses.
She hit me in the face with it, folks. You saw it. Here, look.
really wants to be.
Hey, what are you doing? What is wrong with you? You insane asylum person?
Sorry, I picked up this weird looking club, when we were walking in, and suddenly I had the urge to just throw things at you.
That's it, right there. Look, I'll combat it with my Krampus horn. Yeah, that's a ticket. See, I got a couple of them here.
And tiger claws here.
You throw another one at me, and you throw one of your blue balls at me, I'm gonna hit it with this. No one should have blue balls.
It's a crime.
That's it. All right, folks, we had a great time here. We love you. And thank you to Garrett Alpha One for the gold pin, man. This pin is really cool. I like it. It's neat. All right, man. We love you. Good night.
Dann in den Sarg.
It's Christmas time, and all seems fine. You spent the year without fear, misbehaved and mistreated others. He comes for you, brothers and sisters.
Jingle bell time is a swell time for Krampus to spend the night. You'll be hiding, filled with fright. Your Krampus' punishing delight. Lashing his chains and jingling the bell, he's come to take you to hell. Too late to repent, your tears are spent. Krampus comes calling. For mercy you'll be longing, beaten with branches and sticks, 'cause you chose joke's on you, you selfish fool. Now, what's left is a dreadful mess. Jingle bell time is a swell time for Krampus to spend the night. You'll be hiding filled with fright, your Krampus's punishing delight. Into the basket you'll go, taken in the snow. Tears you'll cry and pain you'll sow. No one can save you, not that anyone should. I wouldn't even if I could. Should have been better, should I behave? Now you're the one, no one can save.
Gute Nacht an alle, die gedient haben. Seien sie im kommenden Jahr gut gelaunt, oder ich werde dich nicht sehen.